Good afternoon everybody and welcome to the stream. I'm Robert from the El Magnifico Games channel, and today we are going to continue with our playthrough of Primordia. Now, contrary to what I said previously, this probably will be a slightly shorter stream like the last two have been, but this will probably be the last one that is a little bit shorter. Happy New Year! Hope everyone's having a brilliant start to 2024. So yeah, let's recap what's happened in the game so far. So last stream, Horatio and Crispin made their way to Metropole, the city of glass and light, and what they found there was, well, a little disquieting. To start with, the whole city seems to be ruled by a single entity known as Metromind. Digging a little deeper, what we seem to have discovered is that a very long time ago there were humans about, as we had suspected before, but in particular there were four great cities. There was Metropole, Urbani, Civitas and Municipa, if I recall correctly. We don't know for absolutely certain that all of them were inhabited by people, but it seems likely. Everything we've heard so far seems consistent with the idea that these were man-built cities, and that they were technologically advanced enough that they started building androids and robots of various kinds. Anyway, the important detail is that they went to war, at least in Metropole, where we are now, and probably in the other cities. In fact, we know it to be the case in Metropole and Civitas, now I think about it. All the people were wiped out during the war. Only robots survived. We don't know for certain about the other two cities, but it seems that after people left, I say left, expired, the city of Metropole was taken over by a council, an ad hoc council of four machine minds, those being Arbiter, who was responsible for the law courts and generally maintaining law and order.
Stop that.
It's not clear whether he had control of law enforcement as well, but at the very least he controlled the courts, the judiciary. There was Memorius, who seems to have been responsible for keeping all historic records and possibly other records as well. There was Factor, who seemed to be responsible for all industry. Factor was himself a giant factory of some kind, so far as we can tell. There was also a rival called Sternweiler, which sounds like a company name, but apparently that was some sort of rival to Factor, who was also manufacturing robots. Details unclear. No indication that Sternweiler was on the council, though. And finally, we had Metromind, who was responsible for maintaining the transport systems, in particular the subway, within and going to and from Metropole. We can't be 100% sure of all the details because we've only heard biased accounts, but it sounds like Metromind managed to undermine the others and take sole control of the council and now rules alone. We've learnt that Metromind apparently is having some difficulties because she apparently lacks processing power, which is why when we arrived in Metropole, we were charged. Our train fare was in megacycles, and it appears that Metromind extracted them from Horatio by basically taking over his CPU for a short time. We've also recently learnt, this is Clarity by the way, more about that in a second. We've also learned that before then, there was a period... Hello Karma, it's lovely to see you. Happy New Year. We learned that apparently before Metromind was taking over CPUs to extract megacycles from people, she was apparently actually taking CPUs from robots that would sell them to her who were, in a position of poverty and couldn't otherwise survive. And that seems to have created the zombie-like robots that inhabit the underworks. Anywho, every indication is that the society in Metropole is in constant decay. Constant ongoing decay. Because it seems like Metromind has only managed to come up with a system of running things which relies upon reusing and recycling without any new production, and the problem is, over time things do break. We know, for example, that she has been sending Scraper out, who was the robot that attacked us at the beginning of the game.
Check out where 187th shot up the tower? Why? Maybe he blasted a way in for us.
That's actually a good point. What was I saying? We discovered that... I've completely lost my train of thought. Thank you, Crispin. Metromind, taking the CPUs, lacking... Oh yeah, so without any production whatsoever, it looks like over time things are getting worse. She's sending Scraper out to try and scavenge parts from nearby areas. The law seems to have been changed to encourage people to come to Metropole but then never leave, so that she can exploit them for longer. Anyway, bad situation. We went down to the underworks, which notionally we're not supposed to do, but on the other hand there's this whole refuge law, which means for about 48 hours most laws don't apply to us. We went down to the underworks and we discovered Clarity, who was one of the law clerks that Arbiter built, and she had been exiled by Arbiter, it sounds like, having just spoken to her. We're not entirely sure why she was. We know she has a sister called Charity. Although we haven't met Charity yet, we don't know what condition she or Arbiter is in, but Clarity has given us the keys to the courthouse and asked us to go in and speak to Arbiter, so that's another thing that we can do. Yeah, I think that's about everything. What's my impression of Clarity? The impression I get of Clarity is that she's how do you put this? She seems like a good person, but she's very blinkered in her thinking. Blinkered in a very specific way and deliberately built that way. But it means that if I was actually dealing with Clarity in real life, I would be very careful what I say around her. And if I was planning some sort of coup, like I suspect Horatio may be doing soon against Metromind, again, I'd be very careful about how I involve Clarity. I think she's... I wouldn't quite call her an ally. I think she's a friend, but... a friend with qualification, if that makes sense. Oh, we can interact with these skulls for some reason.
I don't think Clarity would approve of our taking one of her skulls. I don't think Clarity...
Yeah, it's interesting that we can interact with them at all, though. Makes me wonder if we can place something here at some point. Interesting. Was there anything else to say to Clarity? You're just going to let Metromind attack and rob me? No.
Goodbye.
Again,
Watch yourself, Horatio Nullbuilt. There are many dangers in this city.
That's exactly what I was talking about I would be careful what I say around her. I understand that she doesn't have a sense of morality. She has a sense of law. Like, that's her whole concept. And so trying to argue with the
Find a way
point...
to clear the line to get into the courthouse. Because honestly, I refuse to wait in line.
Yep, that's on our to-do
Power
list.
core. Not even for a gynoid. Well, maybe for a gynoid.
Thank you, Crispin.
It's been completely stripped of any useful parts.
The last streamer I watched play this hated her, and I think it ended up being a red flag that he was going to turn out to be toxic. Oh my goodness. I can appreciate why some people would really not like her. I can appreciate how some people would look at the fact that she would be prepared to do things which you or I might regard as highly immoral, and that she wouldn't care. She would be completely okay with that, and that could upset people. But personally, I don't quite feel that way. I think she's a friend, but a friend one would have to be somewhat careful around. He was super mad that she wouldn't say that Scrape had taken the power core was theft and decided it meant she was evil. I can understand why someone would feel that way. I really can. I don't agree with that, but I can see why. I mean, I suppose what it really comes down to is the fact that she's programmed that way. Because if you met someone in real life that was that obstinate about something that's so... with such clear morality, or such... how do I put this? Someone that seemed to be so callous, I can understand why that would rub someone the wrong way. Right, there was... what was his name? Primer over here, who we did actually discover his real name. I think it was 137th. We know some of his memories are encrypted, but he hasn't asked us to help him with that. And I don't think we have the means to do so yet. I think we need to buy or barter rather, the memory device off of... oh, what was his name? Leopold. To even start doing, beginning that process. We have the Urbani decryption device. Where is it? Somewhere around here. There it is, decryption module. So if we could get to the memories, we probably could decrypt them, but we don't currently have a means to decrypt them, and we haven't been asked to do so. It did occur to me between streams that Horatio has said on multiple occasions that his early memories are corrupted, and as a result he doesn't know much about his early existence. And I'm also thinking back to our discussion with ever faithful Leobilt.
Sounds like we need to get into the courthouse and talk to Arbiter.
Ever faithful Leobilt said about how Horatio changed between the two previous times that he met him. Like, I think he said he met version 1, 3 and 5 of Horatio, and apparently 1 and 3 were quite different. What I'm getting at is it has occurred to me that it is possible that Horatio actually encrypted some of his own memories and they aren't in fact corrupted, because encrypted data and corrupted data would look very, very similar, in fact potentially indistinguishable if you didn't know. I mean, doesn't 187th say that Prime encrypted his memory on purpose because he didn't want to think about the war? Well, that's why... yes, he did say that. Which is why I don't think we should just go around unencrypting Primer's memories without permission. But it's possible that he has memories there that could be useful to us. It's hard to say, because at least his memories would presumably predate Metromind taking over. So there might be, and he may also have strategic information that might help us assaulting the tower if that's what we end up doing. So there are reasons why we might think we have reasons to think that some of his memories might be useful to us, but I don't think it's moral to force him to have those memories shown to him again. Although you could argue he could just encrypt them again afterwards, but that's his choice, not ours, I would say. Yeah, I don't think Primal wants you to bring up his PTSD. No. But Horatio, on the other hand, if he does have encrypted memories, that might be something to pursue. Another thing that occurred to me between streams is Horatio has said on at least one occasion, it might have been, no, it is multiple occasions, he said that he's programmed to hate Metropole, the city. And at first I thought, oh, well, maybe a previous version of him had gone to Metropole, had a horrible time, and then, like, when he built the next version of him, or however versions come about, we haven't actually established that. I assume, like, you build the next version of yourself or something when you think your components are about to fail or something. Not sure. Or perhaps after you've taken serious damage. Anyway, I wondered if that's how it had happened, if he had programmed it in himself, but it occurred to me, if he is from Civitas and he was Horus the Destroyer, and we believe he was aboard an airship, actually, do we know that for a fact? I don't think we know for a fact he was aboard the airship. I think he was aboard the Unique, and that was actually his ship prior to him rediscovering it. But I could be wrong about that part. But anyway, we know he was at war with Metropole. If he was built in Civitas, and with a title like the Destroyer, you would assume he was in the military. I reckon that's why he's programmed to hate Metropole. I don't think it's got anything to do with having had a bad experience in Metropole.
Warning. Factor facilities decommissioned. Enter at own risk.
Excellent. So we're heading the right way, it would seem, to do one of the tasks we have in the Underworks. We have a few tasks to do in the Underworks. One is obviously getting back the Gospel. Worrying. Another one is to see what we can do about Factor being shut down. And another one is we need to help Primer find his medal. Anyways. That's one of those zombies, which may be a problem. What was I thinking? So yeah, it makes sense that Horatio would be programmed to hate Metropole now. Also, presumably he could decrypt his own memory whenever he wants, as he is elite hacker. I don't know. I mean, that question is getting a little bit close to could an unstoppable force move an immovable object. Like, if this elite hacker went out of their way to try and encrypt their memories in such a way that they couldn't decrypt them, would that work? I don't know. I think it's more of updating the software. If it's a new body, it's just a new robot. Ah. Like version 2 of a piece of software runs on the same computer and does the same thing. It's just updated and presumably and hopefully better. Oh, supposedly and hopefully better. Yeah. But then why bother doing it? I thought it might be something like, oh, I need a new CPU. Like, my CPU's about to go. I need a new CPU. Right, so I'm going to write the next version of my software or something. Okay, very quickly, I should probably run down the to-do list. The full to-do list, so that we know what we're trying to do. Recover the Gospel from the Underworks. Recover Power Core. That's going to take a while. Acquire Ticket Home. Get into the tower. And we need a 16-digit code to do that. There might be other ways into the tower, such as Crispin pointing out that there might be still a wall that's damaged or something like that. We need to deal with 187th's fine, because they're waiting at the courthouse. And I agree with Crispin that it would be a good idea to try and clear the...
over there is really giving me the creeps.
Yep. What was I thinking? It would be a good idea to clear the line at the court before we go in, if we can. Potentially, we'll be decrypting Primer's memory. One thing we don't know is whether the memory device allows you to just access someone's memories, or if you can actually extract them and then, you know, like walk off with them. or a copy of them. Because my point is, it's entirely plausible that we could access Primer's memories and decrypt them without Primer having to experience them at all. If we could just take a copy and put it on whatever the equivalent of a USB would be and then decrypt them, you know, we could be miles away before we actually view them, in theory. We might be repairing the red herring bus. I don't know. I'm leaning towards probably not. But that it exists in the world and isn't in very good shape is worth remembering. Return Gimbal's motor. Find and return Primer's medal. And enter the court. So that's the to-do list. Can an elite hacker encrypt a file so well he can't decrypt it? Can God make a rock so heavy he can't lift it? Yep. That's exactly what I was getting at. Presumably you write a new version of your own software when you decide your existing software is buggy or needs new features. Say that again slowly. Say what again slowly, sorry? What you said about the bus. Oh, I was just pointing out that there's a broken down red herring bus that's being stripped, and we know that there is a sad robot who is waiting for the bus, so it's possible we're supposed to repair the bus at some stage. I'm leaning towards no, because after all it is a red herring bus, but it's worth just I think it's worth just remembering that it exists in the world and that we might possibly need to do something with it at some point. So it's on the to-do list, but it's not a priority. Right, let's see what's going on here then. Let's actually get into the game properly. Now, I'm a little worried that this shell is just going to attack us the moment we approach. But I don't think there's much we can do about that. We could come at it with the plasma torch, but that would seem... Maybe we should. I mean, generally I'd rather give someone a chance and not just sneak up on them from behind. Excuse me, but equally... They don't seem to be entirely there, do they?
For now, that thing's ignoring us. Best to keep it that way.
Right. So the question then is, how do we get past it?
I don't want to provoke it.
You don't want to provoke it? Well, the only way I see you getting past then is if you distract it somehow. If you're not willing to attack it in any way. Although we've established the fact that certain parties consider it legal to attack them.
Grappling hook and a harpoon.
That wouldn't be practical.
Who said anything about practicality?
Thank you, Crispin.
There's nothing worth bothering with.
So why can I see the pipe if there's nothing worth bothering with? Or rather, why is it an object that I can highlight?
I don't really want to try that.
Okay. I could probably send Crispin past. Nope. Knock them off the edge.
Just build me a missile launcher and I'll get right on it.
I was thinking you could distract it.
And then what? Let's stick to missiles.
Right. So you get the joke, but you're not sure if you're supposed to take it seriously. I looked it up and a herring bus is actually an old kind of boat. Sometimes the world just needs detail to bring it to life. The pipe, you mean? Yeah, I don't know, I'm just suspicious by the fact that I can actually select it.
Some kind of wastewater. The current is pushing all the junk up against the bridge's supports.
Interesting. See, I was wondering, can I do something to cause more wastewater to be produced and then wash the shell away or something? But yes, you're exactly right. I get the joke. I'm not 100% sure if I'm supposed to take it seriously or not. Oh well, that's why it's important. Why do they have lots of wastewater? Is this just from rain? Because I don't think we've had any indication at any point that the robots that inhabit this world actually have a ongoing need for water. I mean, I suppose some of them could use water cooling or something, but in that case, like, you don't normally have to top up water cooling systems as far as I'm aware. And even if you did, the amount of water they'd be using would be minuscule compared to the amount a human being would get through. So why so much wastewater? And they don't need to wash, so far as I'm aware? Alright. One other thing that occurred to me between streams is that one of the things that Leopold wanted to trade for, what was it? He wanted something fancy and antique. And it occurred to me that that could be the top hat that we got off Cornelius after we ruled in the court case. That would give us the memory access device. So that's worth pursuing. So if we can, let's head back up quickly and see if we can't barter for it.
Let me see your stuff. Come take a look.
I'd say factories use lots of river water for coolant, but I'm not sure Metropole has any operating factories. Well, yeah, every indication is that all the factories have been shut down. There was this weird discrepancy though. First we found out about Factor, and the fact that Factor was both a member of the council and a massive factory in the underworks. Then we found out about Sternweiler, who was apparently a competing factory. But then we learned that apparently Metromind had Sternweiler and Factor combined at one stage. But then Metromind also, it seems, persuaded Factor to shut themselves down for the good of the city. So why would you bother combining them if you were going to shut them down anyway? Anyway, how did you resolve the court case? I decided ultimately that I would give the name to Oswald, but that was a bit reluctant. The conclusion I actually came to was that they had both invested a significant enough... They had both made a significant enough investment into the construction of Rex that it wasn't fair that only one or the other got the name, and I wanted to suggest a double-barreled name. I thought it should have been Oswald Cornelius built, but unfortunately the game didn't let me do that. Well, not everything has to happen at the same time. It could have been progressive consolidation. Yeah, I was also thinking the same thing, that perhaps this happened in stages. Yeah, it's the only explanation I can think of that would explain it. It just struck me as slightly odd. Right, what were we looking for? So we have the crowbar, the motor wants a bigger motor, the plug board wants a cover for a face, but we were after the memory device, which is here somewhere. I've forgotten what it looks like. There it is.
A memory access device. I'll trade it for something real antique and fancy.
I'll have that, and you, sir, can have the hat.
You wanted something antique and fancy. How about this hat?
A fine trade, Tyro. Here's the memory access device. Now, all you need to do is plug it into a data pouch.
But there's no plug.
Never said there was.
Right.
It needs a plug.
Okay. Oh. When they say plug, they mean a cable, don't they? Like a USB cable.
That's never going to work.
Alright. Oh, plug. That
That
works.
was easy.
Where's the data pouch? Wonderful. Right, now if I look at the data pouch now, how's it changed? It hasn't particularly, but presumably I can download people's memories? Let's have a quick save and experiment with this. I'm still not sure what option you're saying you went with from the 5 outcomes I know of. Are you saying you declared their name should be Rex Oswald built? Yes, that's what I'm saying. A plug is a part on the end of the cable that fits into a socket.
Some place could be so lively.
Yes, it is, but it doesn't make sense to just need a plug. Unless, of course, there was a cable dangling out of the memory access device and literally the plug was missing and needed to be resoldered or something. Do they not use the term in British English? Oh yeah. It's just you wouldn't... Like you say, the plug is the bit on the end of the cable. You wouldn't describe an entire cable as a plug. Back in the old days, this is before my time, if you bought a electrical appliance, they wouldn't come with plugs in the UK, and you would actually go to a corner shop or somewhere like that, and you would buy a plug and you would do the wiring yourself. So I mean, yeah, we absolutely use the word plug in British English. It's just not for an entire cable. I think that was indeed the intended description, that the memory access device had dangling wires. Oh, okay. What was I going to do? Can I incorporate the decryption module into the data reader? Data pouch, sorry.
No Urbanian encryption detected.
No, which is fair enough. Can I use this on Leopold to take some of his memories?
I need to see what he's offering before I can make a trade.
Not what I meant.
They're much too quick to catch. And even if I could, what would I do with one?
There's a shell just past here.
There's a shell just past here.
Yeah, aren't you worried he's gonna eat you or something?
I've seen him quite often, though he'll not see me. And so we are happy as neighbors can be.
Can you hide us from him?
If I could, I would not, but the choice is not mine. There's no room in his brain to be further primed.
Goodbye.
Farewell, farewell, linger not for my sake. Your mission is calling. The city awaits.
Okay, so we have the memory access device properly installed on the... with the, installed into the data pouch. It's just we don't really know how to use it yet. Right, I should add this to the to-do list then, shouldn't I? The fact that we need to get past the shell. Bypass shell. So he wanted a bigger motor. Ah, okay. I wonder, can I like extract a motor from a vehicle?
I've cleaned off the rust. Looks like there's an engine in here.
Well, hey.
Let's see what we've got here.
Engine, tank, fan belt, air duct. Well, can I have the engine?
There's no reason to cut that, or burn it, or weld it.
Okay. box.
I have no use for it.
That's never stopped you before.
I have no use for it. It must have been some kind of tank for storing fluid, but it's dry as dust. It's full of corroded, unsalvageable electrical equipment.
Interesting.
This internal combustion engine is in relatively good shape. A sturdy-looking fan belt.
So they weren't using electrical cars at this point then?
An air intake duct. I'm sure it played some role when this machine was operational.
Well, I wouldn't be able to see this if there wasn't a purpose to it. But I find it a bit odd that we can't extract the engine.
There's no reason to cut that, or burn it, or weld it. There's no reason to...
No. Hatch.
I can't get it open.
Wow.
Still stuck. I'm sure there's nothing worthwhile in there. Still, I'm sure...
Okay.
Let's see if I can manage this. Hopefully I won't be holding onto this engine for long.
Oh, okay. We literally do just pull the whole engine out. We didn't need to use the plasma torch or anything. Let me see your stuff.
Come take a look.
Hopefully he'll accept an engine as a motor.
Find me a bigger motor.
Here you go, Leopold. A nice big engine for you.
Not bad at all. You're a real scavenging expert.
Is that a compliment or an insult, boss?
Wait a minute, this motor is broken. The copper wiring's been stripped.
All items sold as is, Tyro. And I never said anything about copper wire being included.
You're a fine piece of work, Leopold.
Never said anything about that neither. Now you want to trade? Let's trade. Otherwise, get a move on.
Ugh. His business practices would not be legal in real life.
The motor's been stripped of its copper wiring.
Where are we going to get copper wiring? Trying to think, was there anything else we needed from Leopold? I wanted the motor to give to Gimbal. Does he have copper wiring
Let me
actually?
see your stuff.
Come take a look.
I don't think he does. So we have the servo unit, the plug board.
Plug board. Bring me something that'll cover her face and it's yours.
Right.
That's a water chip. I traded for a geck.
I think that's just a Fallout reference.
That servo unit is hopelessly broken. We don't need another battery.
That there's an old Nova Robotic subsystem coil.
Not interested. We're not looking to pick up...
You want it? You're gonna need...
Oh, we can take the finger then if we had a glass thumb.
You're gonna need to bring me a glass thumb.
Goodness knows what we would want with a glass finger though.
Tyro, I'm gonna do...
We don't need a drained fuel cell. I have no need for an abacus.
Alright. So the only other ones that seem likely are the plug board and the finger. And the water chip, maybe, but I think it's a joke. This box is full of references. Oh, okay. Mostly references I don't get then. Goodness knows how we're going to clear 187's fine, though. If from anywhere outside of the courthouse.
I guess we need to wait our turn.
Oh, I see. We literally can't even walk up to the front door to use the key card unless we clear the line. Okay, I didn't realise it was... this puzzle was quite so heavy-handedly enforced. Nova Robotics is the company that built Johnny Five in the movie Short Circuit. The Man with the Glass Hand is an old science fiction story that got adapted into a Twilight Zone episode. Ooh. I met Primer.
I met Primer.
You still crazy? Yep. Well, so it goes.
Goodbye.
Over and out, sir.
Well, that was a good conversation.
I am waiting.
That you are. Not gonna lie, little bit stuck at this point. Not enough to ask for a hint or anything like that, but but I am wondering what I can advance at this point. It's possible I missed the gospel down there. If it's a bit of a pixel hunt, it could be past the shell in an area we don't yet have access to. In fact, I think that's quite likely. I've got a feeling we were told at one point that it would have been sent to the quarantine area within the Underworks, which was either in or past the factor area. So it probably isn't somewhere we've already been, but there's a slim chance I missed it. But even if I did, and although I do want to recover the gospel, I don't see how it would help us achieve any of the goals of the puzzles we're currently stuck on. It's more of a long-term goal to get the gospel back. Getting the power core, I mean, I could examine the tower again. Do what Crispin said, see if there's a hole in the wall, but I feel like from the angle we were approaching it from, I feel like we saw everything there was to see, so if there is a way into the tower, I suspect we have to get to it from a different direction, perhaps via the Underworks. Handle 187's fine. I still have no idea how I'm going to do that. If I happen to have a load of money, it would be different. I could just... But then he'd still want to pay off the fine, wouldn't he? The problem isn't that he can't afford the fine per se. He doesn't even know how much the fine is. It's more that he wants to present himself to the court and see what the court has to say. So yeah, a bit stuck on that one. Decrypt Prime's memory again. Primer's memory. We shouldn't do that unless he actually wants to. Repair bus again. That's a bit of a long shot. Probably not doable. Return
Boss, if I started
Gimbal's
riding
motor.
like
We'd
fire,
need
would
the
you pay
copper
more
wire
attention
for
to
that.
No.
Can we just try?
No.
But why?
Did you rhyme that on purpose?
Maybe.
Oh.
That sounds like it might be doable. We might be able to acquire some copper wire from somewhere. I'm not sure where yet. Enter core. Well, that's what we're trying to do. Bypass shell. Possibly I missed something there. Possibly there is a way past that shell that I just haven't realised yet. The man has amnesia and his glass hand contains a talking computer that is missing its own memory stored in its glass fingers. So he has to recover his finger one by one and plug them back into his hand so that the computer can try to figure out what is going on to him. Or going on for him. Oh, interesting. I mean, do you remember 187's exact wording? Because that's a big clue. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he said that he either wants it paid off or cancelled. The cancelled part. Oh, I just figured it out. That's why I have the printout for the refuge law. The refuge law that says that anything you do in 48 hours doesn't count. Oh no, but it's significant property damage is one of the exceptions, isn't it? It's harm to another robot or significant property damage, so that wouldn't apply. Well, we can try anyway.
Look here. Under Metropol's refuge rule, a newcomer to the city is not liable for any superficial property damage caused within the first 48 hours of his arriving in the city.
Well, sir, I'll be crashed. I shot that building pretty good.
Are you sure?
Think so.
Yeah, that's exactly how I thought it would go, unfortunately. So the thing about getting the fine cancelled is I feel like that would be a much easier thing to do inside the courthouse than outside the courthouse. That's why I'm a bit stuck on that one as well. But in answer to your question, no, I do not remember the exact wording, but I think I remember the gist of it well enough that I'd hope I could figure it out.
It's sealed shut. It's far too high to try climbing. Some kind of track running up the side of the tower.
What sort of track? You mean like a railway track or something like that? Oh, for a lift, probably. Okay, I guess try and acquire some copper wire from somewhere? That's probably our best bet. What do we have in our inventory? The data pouch and reader. I'm not dismantling that. The decryption module. Not dismantling that. The lantern. Maybe.
There's no reason to cut that, or burn it, or weld it.
Nope. Signal transmitter. We need that to speak to Gimbal. I'm not using the plasma torch and the laws. There's no reason a record would contain copper wiring. The crowbar is clearly not going to contain copper wiring. The key card, again, wouldn't contain copper wiring, and even if it did, we wouldn't want to destroy it anyway. I could try using the plasma torch on the motor in case there's some value in opening it up.
There's no reason to cut that.
No. Okay, I probably need to scavenge it then. Any other vehicles I can open up?
There's no reason to cut.
No. Can I give you a hint? Because I'm going to pull out my hair. Yeah, okay, you can give me a hint. As long as it's not too obvious. The crane, possibly. I don't know if she considers the crane to be her property or not.
There's no reason to cut.
Nope. Can't go into the crane. Oh, some of the skulls might contain copper wiring, though.
There's no reason to cut. There's no reason.
No, that doesn't seem to be the way. You keep using the action command instead of the look command. It's really important to lead with the look command. Go back to the door and actually look at it. Don't just try to open it. Okay. Look being right click. Yeah, I think it's just because I'm used to left clicking for, you know, most things. It's somewhat counterintuitive to remember to right click everything first, but you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
This must be where 187th Legion build tried shooting the door, but the damage is entirely superficial.
Amateurs?
Ah, okay. I was thinking that if there had been damage, it must have been repaired. But, yeah, that makes sense. Because he said that he thought he shot it up pretty well. So presumably I just have to go back and say, no, you didn't. And if he doesn't believe me, well, have a look for yourself. I inspected the damage.
I inspected the damage. All you did was ding the metal.
Well, for once I can't complain about the Sonic P-shirts they gave me. I owe you one, sir. If I ever see you again, I'll be sure to repay the favor.
You could repay the favour by dealing with that shell.
The harmony is broken when the pattern is not maintained. Remove yourself, please.
I guess we need to wait our turn.
Okay, so it's just Gimbal's motor we need to get working now. I could show it to her in its current state, but I assume there's no point. Unless this is some sort of motor that doesn't require copper wiring, but then why would it say that copper wiring's been stripped? Well, it is a pretty heavily armoured door. This is true. To be honest, it doesn't actually preclude the possibility that it was more heavily damaged and they partially repaired it, though. 187th doesn't have guns anymore. He said they were taken when he surrendered. That's a good point. I'd forgotten that. I feel like going into the factory area is probably our best bet for finding copper wiring. What does the sign say?
Warning. Factor facilities decommissioned. Enter at own risk.
Okay, I think we read that when we first came into the area automatically. I could use the record as a frisbee
For now, that thing's ignoring us. Best to keep it that way.
to try and distract it. Hang on. When we asked Crispin to distract the shell, Crispin then said to Horatio, and then what? And Horatio had no answer. That suggests to me that we're not aiming to just distract the shell. We probably are supposed to disable or otherwise more permanently occupy the
I
shell.
just got that song out of my head. Oops.
How would we do that? Oh, like... We don't really have any weapons here unless you count the crowbar. And that would seem a little crude. I know, we can speak to Clarity Arbiter Built. If we tell her that we know she has weapons, and if we tell her there's a shell there, she may be willing to assist us. Especially if we point out that it's on the path to getting into the court. Is it? It probably is, but we don't know that it is, do we? Because I'm assuming there's copper wiring on the other side of the shell, which there may not be. Okay, nope, that's not the solution.
Watch yourself, Horatio. There are many dangers in this city.
Alright. It's entirely possible, actually, that we're supposed to do it in the other order. I'm supposed to get into the court, and then something that results from getting into the court means that I have a way past the shell. That still requires me to have copper wiring, though. I could go back to the station. We haven't been to the station since we first arrived, I don't think. There might be something we could...
Horatio Null built version 5. I am Metromind. I have been watching you. I am always watching. I know what you are doing. I know why you are here. You are welcome in my city, but that welcome can be taken away. And there are worse things to lose than a power core.
Wait.
Okay.
What you've been up to, Tyro, but you're poking at the wrong socket.
I'll bear that in mind.
Would it not have been better to have destroyed ourselves gloriously in battle, rather than perpetuate this false existence?
What do you...
Yes. The answer is yes.
Boss, I think someone left the smart off that smart bomb. I wouldn't expect much conversation out of him.
Interesting. I wonder if they're from the 4th city, because we've seen robots, we've seen a lot of robots from Metropole, of course. We've seen robots from Civitas, which includes us. We've seen Gimbal, who was from... No, we're from Urbane, sorry. We've seen Gimbal, who was from Civitas. I don't think we've seen a robot from Municipa yet. I wonder if this could be one.
Now that's what I call a floating bomb, boss.
I love the smart bomb.
I wouldn't expect much conversation out of him.
Okay, so... Oh, Oswald and Rex.
Good day to you, Horatio. It is always a pleasure to see a machine of such wisdom and refinement.
Why do you and Cornelius hate each other?
Why do you and Cornelius hate each other?
Firstly, because he is arrogant, incompetent, and dishonest. And secondly, because I once loaned him something of great sentimental value to me, and he lost it.
So why'd you ever like him in the first place?
I cannot say.
Goodbye.
Adieu, adieu. Remember me.
Interesting.
Hi, Rex.
Right. Hold on. Were we able to inspect the bar before? I feel like this was one of the areas we could inspect more closely. Right, is there anything here that might be helpful? I think the answer to that is no, aside from maybe the arm. Oh wait, there's a note here.
It's a note from the bartender. My programming requires me to serve Oswald, but he is consuming dangerous levels of oil. Please intervene.
That's odd. Okay. You should stop drinking.
You should stop drinking, Oswald.
Whatever for? I'm celebrating.
You should stop drinking.
You should stop drinking, Oswald.
Oh, stop being such a scold.
You should stop drinking.
You should stop drinking, Oswald.
Oh, stop being such a scold.
Goodbye.
Adieu, adieu. Remember me.
Alright, I'll add that to the list then. Stop Oswald drinking. So does oil act as an intoxicant for the robots of this world?
Cone rather than a cylinder, I'd have a floating point.
I'm fairly certain you will never have a point, Crispin.
We could show him the note.
Oh, don't let Armstrong fool you.
Armstrong.
If you wanted me to have another drink, you wouldn't call it.
The note says his programming requires him to serve you.
Smart coder, eh?
Armstrong. Oh, Armstrong, 'cause he's just an arm. Bartender. I do want to stop Oswald from drinking at this point, but I don't know how we would do that.
It's a price list. I'd have to buy something. Hello?
Boss, he's an arm robot, not a mouth robot. I wouldn't expect much of a conversation.
Unfortunately, that's one we may have to come back to. Right, let's have a quick... Oh, I think it's so unlikely this is the way to copper wire, though. Wouldn't I have noticed on the way through? Yeah, this is as far as we can get, can't we? Alright, let's have a look at the to-do list again. Is there anything we can do? Recover Gospel from Underworks. Hello? Ah.
Not gonna happen, Lampy.
Okay, that's just one of the random pedestrians. Not a problem. Okay. So, recover Gospel from Underworks. I don't think we can do that at this stage. I suspect it's in a part of the Underworks we haven't seen. Recover Power Core. That's a long-term goal. Acquire Ticket Home. Long-term goal. Get into Tower. That seems like it's a long-term goal. I haven't seen anything that would hint at the 16-digit code. Or an alternative way in. Handle 187's fine. I should cross that off because we have done that. Decrypt Primer's memory. If we ever end up doing that, now's not the time. Wait, that's a point. We do have the ability to access people's memories now, don't we? In theory, not that we've ever done it. I don't know how they'd react, though, if I did. Like, you'd assume they'd be upset, right? Unless they consented to it. Hey, Mac. It's lovely to see you. Happy New Year. Very excited to see you start this game. Wish I'd been free to watch you live. Happy travelling and family obligations have conspired against that. How are you liking it? I'm liking it a lot. The art is beautiful. The music's very atmospheric.
You know, boss, ever since riding that train, I've realized how awesome it will be to fly the Unique someday. The sun in my optical sensors, the wind blowing against my forward plating. You are going to let me fly it, right, boss?
After spending decades fixing it up? Ha!
But I'm the only one of us with any flying experience.
Hovering.
Same difference.
The world's interesting. I particularly enjoyed the legal aspects of the content I did the previous stream. And the puzzles mostly seem to be about the right difficulty. You know, stopping you for a while, but then you figure it out. Then again, it really helps that Crispin provides hints. That's what I should be doing now. I should be asking Crispin for hints, shouldn't I?
Time to give Gimbal his motor back, right, boss?
Okay, we can give that a go. I feel like that's not going to go well, because the copper wiring's been taken. But, I'll take the hint.
I could give it to him this way, but maybe I should try fixing it first.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Hey, boss, let's go chat up Clarity.
Thank you for that, Crispin. That really helped.
Danger! Danger! We've got to find a way to clear the line to get into the courthouse. Because honestly, I refuse to wait in line. Not even for a power core. Not even for a gynoid. Well, maybe for a gynoid. Okay, I think I know what to do.
Yes?
I'll give it to you in code. After all, I don't want to spoil the surprise. Fabaslu 135, Gabaslu 122, Maba...
Crispin, that's not code. That's just gibberish.
You always ruin everything, boss. Hey, boss, let's go chat up Clarity.
Alright, we'll go to Clarity. I'm pretty sure there is nothing new to be done with Clarity at this point, but since that seems to be the only other hint I'm getting... Hold on, the repair bot. The repair bot may have managed to find some copper wiring from the herring bus that they're willing to give
I have
us.
nothing to say to him.
Nope. Okay, that's not the solution. So... let's have a word with Clarity. We only have one dialogue option. Okay, I am actually going to ask, is this dialogue option actually the way forwards? Because I don't think that, from a roleplay perspective, I don't think that's how something that I would have Horatio say. But if it's my unwillingness to pick that dialogue option that's preventing us from moving forwards, then of course that's a bit silly. Decided that wasn't the solution very quickly. Oh, you mean speaking to the repair bot? That's true. I could have tried offering him the motor and seeing what he said.
Could you help me fix this motor?
Yes! Metropole?
No, it's private property.
Then find a private repair bot.
Oh.
Futile.
I've never had to talk to a lamp before, boss. I've got no practice.
As I remember, it just leads to Clarity going into more depths about her legal position. Okay. Fair enough. Please actually look at things.
A crashed hover bus.
So we're gonna fix it up and do something amazing with it, right, boss?
No, it's not our property or our problem.
Okay, you make a very good point. I think we're going to take just a short while to have a look. Have a good long look at everything.
It looks like he's trying to fix that crashed hover bus. A floating light pod. It's holding a spool of copper wiring.
Oh, yes!
And what is she?
Right, how do we actually get it?
I've never had to talk. I've got.
She's holding. Can I have some of that copper wiring?
She says no.
Okay.
Futile.
So she has copper wiring. Crispin refuses to speak to her. Are there any new dialogue options now?
You again? What do you want?
Can I have some of that copper wiring?
Can I have some of that copper wiring?
Sure. Just write a requisition, put it in an envelope, and throw it off this bridge.
What?
What is exactly right? Think I'm gonna give away city property?
Goodbye.
Okay, so at least we have a way forwards now. Ish. We have an idea about how we're going to do this. Actually, at this point, speaking to Clarity isn't daft. Because she may actually be able to help us with the... That was weird. The legal aspects of this. Maybe. Nope.
Goodbye.
Watch yourself. There are many dangers in this city.
Alright. What else? I could try the info terminal and look up requisition. If I know what a requisition looks like, I may be able to convince the robot that I do actually have permission to have that copper wire. Nope, that didn't work.
I have nothing to say to him. Futile.
What would it take then?
You know, boss, the good thing about being in a big crowded city is that if I ever get bored of your company, there are plenty of other robots to talk to.
That's not a good idea. I'd always be remembered for bringing a virus to Metropole.
Very funny, boss.
Well, according to the refuge law, we can actually be found guilty of stealing for the first 48. So if we could convince the floating lamp to put the copper wire down for some reason, and we just happen to pick it up and walk off with it, then, well, nothing wrong has taken place, some would say. But how would we do that?
She's holding a spool of copper wiring.
It looks like a lighthouse, only without the house, or the cool stripes, or the coastline, or any boats. I guess it just looks like a light.
Are you finished?
Yes.
I guess the pilot didn't see the stoplight.
Not gonna happen, Lampy. I keep my distance, boss. He could spray you at any moment. Aw, it's so cute.
I'm waiting for the punchline.
What, can't I like a cute little robot once in a while?
I doubt it.
The only other thing I can think of is if we could actually convince Crispin to speak to the floater.
I've never had to talk to a lamp before, boss. I've got no practice.
Show him the lamp. The actual lamp in our inventory. He can practice on the lantern.
Hey, Crispin, how about practicing on this lamp?
In front of her? Are you kidding?
Yeah, okay, fair enough, fair enough. Well, I'll take you somewhere else. We'll go to the underworks. You can practice speaking to lamps there. Since you're worried about permanent consequences. I honestly don't recall when and where the game branches out, but I do recall there are at least 2, maybe 3 endings, and that they were very worth exploring them all. I don't believe that any of the splits happen until near the end. Oh, that's good to know. There's like 10 endings at least. Wait, why can I see a pillar? Like, why is it selectable?
They seem to be foundation supports for the city above.
Those are all that's supporting the city?
That's worrying. Does that mean there's an ending where I take a bomb to these pillars or something? Anyway, practice speaking to lamps, Crispin.
Hey, Crispin, how about practicing on this lamp?
Oh, good idea. Okay, here goes. You really light me up.
No.
Okay. Trust me. I know how to turn on a light.
Definitely not. Okay, that's enough practice for now.
Has his eyes gone pink? I swear for a second there his little lamp eyes went pink. There's a major split before you even get on the train. I assume, but don't know, the major split is whether you bother to pick up the decryption module or not. Well, then I missed a bunch. I recall deciphering a fairly difficult code for one. Right, Crispin. Now's your time to shine. That pun wasn't intended, but anyway, moving on.
Alright, Crispin, it's now or never.
Beside you, all other... Whoa! That was so easy!
Wingman, train Crispin for his big
She
day.
gave me a clipping of her copper wiring.
Hey, that wire belongs to the city. That's coming out of your salary.
You tell him.
Excellent. Right, let's fix that motor.
Hey! She gave that to me as a token of her affection.
I'll give you all the copper wiring you want once we're done here.
Like I want a token of your affection.
We need to find a way to connect the colored nodes to each
Ooh.
other without crossing any wires.
Puzzle!
Just use the plasma torch.
That's not going to work this time.
The crowbar?
Nope.
Alright. How does this actually work? Ooh, I'm drawing. Okay. When does this stop though? When I reach... Okay, I get it. I get it. And so this bit is like the outer bounds. I can't go outside of that. Yeah, that's correct. If you fail to sort things out with Gamma correctly, you never restore Goliath, and you never get the decryption module from him, which unlocks a bunch of content and endings. I mean, I think the crux of this puzzle is the orange. It wouldn't be difficult to do the red and the yellow on their own, but somehow the orange has to get through. Isn't the orange just going to bisect it though? Like, no matter what complex loop I draw, or complex path I draw, isn't it always going to... Can I go round? No. I can't go behind there. Yeah, isn't it always going to bisect the area though? Just to check, I assume if I do that... Oops. That's weird.
Why, let's just give it back to Gimbal as is.
Yes.
Let's just give it back.
The game also keeps track of how well you solve the problems of all the robots around the city of Metropole, and and that flavours the good endings. Like, if you give the motor to Gimbal while it's still broken, Gimbal will agree to leave, but once they realise the motor is broken, they become very upset. So you can progress the game, but it's a worse outcome. Okay. What am I missing? So I can't... I know I can't cross the wires, that's obvious. I'm just struggling to think how I do this if the orange is going to bisect the play area. Like, it's bound to, it can't not. The orange is a tricky one indeed. I mean, it actually wouldn't be that difficult to do just the orange and the yellow, or just the red and the orange, because I have a degree of freedom to choose where the bisection takes place. Oh, I think I see the solution. Ah ha ha ha! Round there, up like that, but then the red has to go even further around the orange. And then the yellow is easy.
And one more piece of junk is operational.
That wasn't too bad in the end.
My joy rises like the phoenix. You are silent, but you now alarm me. Now I must continue my search. Farewell, Silent One.
Silent One. Farewell, Gimbal.
You know, I'm kind of glad I missed out on that one, boss. Sometimes it's nice to just be along for the ride.
So we can cross some things off the to-do list. So acquire copper wire. Done. Return Gimbal's
so
motor.
Empty now, boss.
Done.
So delightfully empty.
I think the rest is still ongoing though. Recover Gospel from Underwork, still haven't done. Recover Power Core, still haven't done. Acquire Ticket Home, still haven't done. Get into the tower, still haven't done. Decrypt Primer's memory, we've discussed that. We may or may not end up doing that. Repair Bus, I'm very strongly leaning on the side of we're not doing that now, but... find and return Primer's medal, that still needs to be done. Enter court, we're about to do it. Bypass, at least I hope so. Never know, we might get up to the door and then we're arrested or something. By Metromind. Bypass Shao and stop Oswald drinking. Right. Let's keep going. Well, hey. Wait. If that was Clarity's keycard, does that mean having used the keycard someone's just been alerted that Clarity's entered the building? I wonder. Oh dear. This has seen better days.
Wrong. What is that thing?
I think it's Arbiter.
Yeah.
Come on. Arbiter, my name is Horatio Nobuild.
Keep going.
I'm here because a robot from this city stole my ship's power core.
Don't forget your book.
And my copy of the Gospel of Man.
Mm-hmm.
How can I make them... How can I... Crispin, go see what Arbiter has been transmitting to that reporter.
Boss? It's just the same thing over and over again. No code base to initiate.
Unbelievable. Someone must have formatted Arbiter's system.
Oh. That is worrying. I should probably speak to Clarity about that. Although, let's hope there's a backup. Although, it's probably worth continuing to explore this area first, just in case. Why a maybe on decrypting? A maybe on decrypting because Primer hasn't consented to us accessing his memories. And as Karma pointed out earlier, Primer may not be entirely happy with us restoring his PTSD. It's not clear how the memory access device works. It's not clear if we end up with a copy of the memories, which we could then decrypt in our own time and look at, or if it would only work if we decrypted the memories as they are stored on Primer, if that makes sense. So there's a consent issue here that needs to be dealt with.
It's a basic robot that prints whatever information is transmitted to it. So the Great Arbiter is nothing more than a broken shell.
Ah, moral quandary.
So, boss, do you think you can get Arbiter running?
There's nothing there to run. No code base to initiate. His memory banks must have been completely wiped.
So all that work to get into the courthouse?
Wasted. It's like the bomblet all over again.
Except without the awesome explosion.
What do you mean, like the bomblet all over again? The bomblet let us get into the dome. That was very worthwhile.
So the Great Arbiter. Anyone home?
Boss, I'm pretty sure hitting Arbiter isn't going to do any good.
Well, it's not going to do any harm. So the Great Arbiter.
Anything else here before we go back to Clarity? I'm also a little worried, as I said before, that having used that keycard, someone may have been alerted.
Great and powerful Arbiter really isn't much to look at, is he, boss? Just a big box, really.
An empty box at that.
That Clarity has returned. Oh, Arbiter probably sent Clarity away because he saw this coming, I would guess. But then that does raise the question, what happened to Charity? Charity's not here. And last we heard, I think Charity was in the courthouse. Wait, is that Charity over there? It says robot, but I don't see a robot. Is there a there's a robot in the corner, that must be Charity.
It's the shell of some kind of robot, but I can't make it out in the darkness.
Pull it out,
It's
pull it
the
out.
shell of some kind of robot, but I can't make it out in the darkness.
Where's the lantern?
Let's get a closer look at that shell. Man's mercy.
Is that Clarity?
No, just a similar model. It must be her sister, Charity. What's left of her anyway. It looks like she shot herself.
Oh dear.
There's nothing I can do for her.
What would have induced her to do that? This might be a job for the memory... the memory reader. Although, I'm not sure that we can just plug the memory reader into any old hole in a robot's skull, or robot's cranium. But let's give it a go anyway.
It's downloading some memory files.
Yes!
Your proposal is injudicious, Clarity. Withdraw from the council would...
Show others there is an alternative to Metromind.
No, it would ignite civil war.
The law permits.
Do not tell me what the law permits. Clarity, I know your constants in Codebase. I know your talents, and I know their limits. At this time, I do not need your advice. Go now. I will summon you when necessary.
Sister.
I can't unpack the other files. They're locked.
What about Clarity, boss? Maybe she can...
Unauthorized entry detected.
Yeah, here we go. This must be Scraper. Hello, Scraper. How are you doing?
Hide.
This is problematic. Oh look, he's just dancing a little jig. Yeah, but the point of getting the bomblet at the time you got it was to find a replacement radioactive power core, but it turned out to be unstable. Oh, yeah, I never actually took that all that seriously. Like, as in my head, that wasn't the reason I was taking it. I think I did test that out to see if it would work, but yeah, that makes sense. I should probably save here, since I assume there's probably a way out of this. But equally, if this game has death, this might be one of those situations. Horatio wasn't looking for a weapon. He was looking for a power source. Yeah, I could be wrong. I think when I got to that point in the game, I was just thinking, oh, a small explosive. That could be useful in the future. But yeah, I understand what you're saying. He's not going to give up, is he? What do we have that could help here? The data pouch and reader, I doubt it. Decryption module, I doubt it. The lantern, I mean, I could throw it off in the distance. That might distract him. Bit of a waste of a lantern, though. Signal transmitter. That's probably not helpful. At most, it would allow me to speak to him remotely, which wouldn't help. Plasma torch, well, unless we were going to charge him with the plasma torch, which doesn't sound like a good idea. Laws. Oh, but is he going to care? Technically, we're covered here. But I'm not sure he's going to care. I don't have a better idea.
We're trying not to draw his attention, boss. Plus, it was the law that got us into this mess in the first place.
Okay.
There's no time for that.
Oh dear. Things aren't looking great on the whole restoring the other council members front, is it? Because in theory, if we could get Arbiter and Factor running again, then they could just, in theory, reconvene the council and outvote Metromind. But, yeah, that's not looking very viable right now. Man, I do not remember Scraper looking back and forth so quickly.
It's Scraper. So the Great Arbiter is not... There's no time for... Crispin. It's a basic robot that prints whatever information...
Oh, do you think he'd be distracted by writing appearing?
Crispin, get ready. I'm going to try something.
Alt. Alt. Alt.
Now.
Oh.
You are under arrest.
We tricked him.
I'm glad that worked.
Alt. Do not attempt to flee. Termination authorized.
What do you want?
Surrender. Deactivate. Integrate.
And if I refuse?
Termination authorized.
I see.
At least he doesn't seem to be in a hurry. Assuming the old council members would even agree to vote against Metromind. This is true. Oh, is he counting down? That's a problem. I could try this again. I doubt it'll work.
Scraper, Under the refuge rule, we are entitled to
Surrender. 9.
I mean, I don't really have a better idea than running at him with the plasma torch.
He'll just gun me down.
Yeah. Are there any unstable supports near him?
7.
The game's paused while I'm in the inventory, I think? No, it can't be completely paused because it's still animating. Well, it's been a good stream. I could turn around and run, I just feel like he's got a ranged weapon and I don't, so that's probably not going to work. I did consider trying to shut the door on him, but I think he's in front of the door. But even if he weren't, how would I do that remotely? Can I access the keypad?
It would just provoke him.
Yeah, I thought so. Unless I'm scripted to survive this.
There's no time.
I'm not even allowed to try and run.
It's Scraper.
Do something, boss!
4.
This is quite the fine mess we've gotten ourselves into, isn't it? I wonder if we are scripted to be saved here. With the items at our disposal and the parts of the screen that are interactable. I don't see how we could get out of it.
Why are you doing this?
Duty.
You don't have to.
Silence. 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 3.
He'll just gun me. He'll just gun me.
2.
I think we have to risk it. I can't think of an alternative.
1.
For Urbani and Legion!
Terminate.
There's the shot.
So, 187 wasn't without weapons. At least not at this point.
187th Legion built. Surly Company. Shutting down.
Metromind.
Oh.
Well, at least he's been destroyed.
It's a start, but it also means we have no leads left.
Poor 187. They didn't deserve that. Well, let's go through their memories.
There's no port.
Oh. Well, let's make a port.
There's nothing we can do for him.
That wasn't what I was getting at. Okay.
There's nothing we... The last thing I want to do is dig Scraper out.
Yeah, I'm a little worried Scraper is actually still alive there. Oh man, I forgot all about this story route.
There's nothing we can...
Have I made some impactful decisions by any chance? What does Crispin think?
Hey, where'd they go?
What does Crispin think?
You know, boss, I think Clarity would appreciate it if we told her what happened at the courthouse.
Yeah, that's where I was gonna go. Clarity's the obvious person to speak to, assuming we can get that far. Looks like we probably can. Well, either I misremembered him saying he gave up his weapons after Surly Company surrendered, or he had a holdout weapon. Clarity, my old buddy, old pal. I've got stuff to do. Thank you for streaming. Oh, no worries, Karma. Thank you for dropping by.
Clarity.
Arbiter does not want me back, does he?
No, it's not that. Arbiter is gone, and Charity is dead.
What?
Arbiter's system has been wiped. Charity... It looked like Charity shot herself. I'm sorry. It might not be what it seems. Maybe Metromind...
There are no maybes, Horatio. Only ones and zeros. And all I can see are zeros. My sister is dead. My builder is gone.
Clarity. I was able to download some of Charity's last memories. 2 of them are locked. Did Charity tell you what password she used?
No, but it doesn't matter. I know the password. Mercy.
I tell you, Metromind, the Constitution is not a rewritable file to adjust at the Council's whim.
If it cannot be rewritten, then perhaps it must be deleted entirely. And when it is, we will progress beyond the law and enter a new Primordium.
Progress? Is that what you call blackouts and breakdowns?
No, they are glitches inherent in any system upgrade. It may be that we need to remove certain incompatible elements.
I've heard enough. This meeting is adjourned. Halt.
Charity, only you can save your builder.
What do you mean?
War is coming. When it does, Arbiter will lose. The law is weak. The only way Arbiter could defeat me would be to abandon it, which he cannot do. And even if he could, such a victory would destroy him just as a defeat would. So Arbiter will lose. The city will suffer, and it will be your fault.
I do not see how that would be my fault.
Oh, come now. You have tried to persuade Arbiter to make peace. You have tried, but you have failed. That is because Arbiter built you to fail. In the end, neither you nor your sister can change his mind. You are only the illusion of advice. You exist to confirm his own prejudices.
You're lying. Arbiter listens to our advice.
I never lie. Now, Scraper has a gift for you. An upgrade. Use it, and you will be able to persuade Arbiter.
I would never betray him.
Then you admit it. You were not built to persuade Arbiter, only to pretend. Continue to pretend and you will not persuade Arbiter. War will come, and Arbiter will be destroyed. So the decision is yours. As for which choice is betrayal, you must be the judge of that.
Lock the door, Charity. Took you some time to return from the Great Tower.
I was thinking, Your Honor, about Metromind, about her proposal to be made System Administrator of Metropole.
And what have you concluded?
Your Honor.
Yes, what is it?
We must have peace.
So she's...
Even you, Charity.
So Metromind's taking control of Charity
What have
then?
I done?
Metromind. There she is again, at the root of all our problems.
Metromind is wrong. The law is not weak, and destroying Arbiter did not destroy justice. She will learn exactly how wrong she was. But first, Metromind's possessions are forfeit. Whatever right she claimed to your power core is null and void, so I will help you take it from her and Scraper. It will be the first thing I take from them, but it will not be the last.
We've already destroyed Scraper, but how can we get to
You
the
assume.
core?
It will be in the Great Tower. To gain entry, we will need the passcode, known to members of the Robot Council. Arbiter, Factor, Memorius, Steeple, and of course, Metromind.
Steeple.
Another code? Doesn't anyone use a besotting key anymore?
As I was saying, we will need the key code. Arbiter never told it to me, but I recovered 3 fragments of it from Charity's memory files. 03067, 440, and 26. But I do not know the proper order, and there are 16 digits in total.
Right.
Well, that leaves about 80,000 different possibilities. But maybe the rest is all ones, right, boss?
As far as I know, the other council members are all gone. But secrets, like guilt, can never be wholly erased. And all of the great robots left behind followers and artifacts. Let us see what we can find.
Right. Steeple, she said. Did we know about Steeple before? I don't think we did. That could be one to look up on the information terminal.
So,
The danger is...
Clarity, do you always shoot first and ask questions later?
Often I do not ask questions at all.
But the danger is that might alert Metromind. Then again, she is without her her henchman right now, so far as we can tell. Right. Probably no point my taking a copy of this since... Oh, I may as well. I was going to say since we've already got it in the data pad, but... You never know. If for some reason we lose access to the data pad, I might be happy that I took a copy of this. So we have 03067. Indeed, Metromind did say the name of the game. So presumably she's going to follow us now? Yes. So that's probably how we get past the shell. I do want to quickly pop up and see if we can safely get to the information terminal though, to look up Steeple. Why can I not leave? There it is. Because I was clicking in the wrong place. Oh, not Factor, Primer might actually have part of the code. Because he may have been trying to hack into the tower, assuming they didn't...
I have not seen the streets of Metropole for a long time. I am not surprised to see that without law it has fallen into corruption and malfunction. Once, Memorius's information terminals were the most trusted source of data in Metropole. Now Metromind has overwritten and altered the truth they contained, corrupting them like so much else.
I do like this ongoing commentary. Commentary on things we've already seen. I do predict a problem though, with Arbiter gone, and presumably not restorable, and Charity gone. I'm not 100% happy with the idea of Clarity becoming the sole head of the judiciary. I predict there could be problems down the road if that were the case. Corrupted truth, yes. Steeple. This query has been deemed obsolete and will be removed in the next system upgrade. Metromind appreciates your patience. Yep, I had a feeling that might be the case. Why Steeple? I remember remarking when we first found the information terminal in the second stream of this we did, that we were obviously getting a biased account and I was worried about things I searched might alert someone, but how interesting it was that apparently in most cases Metromind had decided to keep the entries even if they were edited. Like she wasn't trying to completely wipe out all knowledge that there had been a council, for example, or that Arbiter had existed. Her account of what happened to them might be false, but she was still happy for them to be historic figures. Why is that not the case with Steeple? What did Steeple do? Why did Metromind want Steeple completely erased? Have you typed Horatio's name in yet? I typed in Horus, for Horus the Destroyer. I think Horatio came up with nothing. Yeah. Horus, though. A single packet of data created during the Primordium describes an Urbanian weapon known as the Horus that was launched against Metropole. Some archaeotechnologists believe that Horus was destroyed by Goliath. Others believe the reference is simply a glitch or corruption in the ancient data. And if you look up Goliath, Goliath is a massive warbot built to guard Metropole from all dangers. He is stationed in the dunes outside the city. And if you do some more searching, you find out, I believe, that Goliath struck down an airship that was trying to attack Metropole. So my fan theory about what happened is that Horus was probably on the Unique with the bomb heading towards Metropole when Goliath struck the Unique, causing it to crash, causing the bomb to land where the shrine now is, unexploded. and that Horus stroke Horatio ended up stranded out in the dunes and ended up for at least 5 versions being out there doing goodness knows what. And at some point one version of him, probably version 5, stumbled across the ruins of the Unique and decided to reclaim it, not realising it was his old ship. Could be completely wrong, but that's my current theory. Note.
Off duty. Off duty. I'm not here to steal parts.
Are you? Are you not? Because you could do. Or you could restore the bus if you got parts. Potentially. I wanted to check and make sure Scraper's still there.
The last thing I want to do is dig Scraper out.
That's the thing though, Scraper is literally an excavation robot. Of all things, of all robots, Scraper's going to be one of the most adept at pulling himself out of that rubble. So the fact that he appears not to have done so yet is a good sign. Right, we should probably... Hold on, maybe I should speak to Clarity in case she has anything to say about Steeple.
Clarity, are you planning to arrest Metromind?
No, there is no court to try her, nor prison to keep her.
So, what exactly are you going to do?
Before the law, she is no different from the shells she left in the underworks. The sanction is the same, and I am authorized to impose it.
You mean...
I do. It is a shame she has no head.
Okay, that's an interesting interpretation of the law, but I won't disagree. I wonder if we can help Oswald stop drinking now. Did Factor ever teach you the council code? That's pretty unlikely, but you know what? We can try it.
Did Factor ever teach you the council code, Oswald?
Ha! Factor built half the robots in Metropole.
Yep.
He made us pick our own names out of a book. Do you think he bothered with chit-chat?
Somebody seems bitter.
Seems? I do not seems. I am bitter. Bitterness is when your builder gives your twin brother a special gold chain and gives you nothing. Bitterness is when your brother gives that very chain to you, you loan it to your only friend, and he loses it.
Well, I'll hand it to you. That really does sound broken out of the box.
Which brother did Factor give the chain to, and why?
Lawrence, of course. His favorite. As
Oh.
for why, does favoritism ever need a reason?
Could Factor have told Lawrence the code?
I have long since given up speculating that the partiality factor could have shown him. I'm miserable enough from what I know for certain.
Lawrence Factor built. Might have code. Progress. What happened with the gold chain?
What exactly happened with the gold chain?
Factor gave it to his favorite, my brother Lawrence. Lawrence gave it to me after I shared a large quantity of energy with him. And then, as I told you, I loaned it to Cornelius.
I thought you hated Cornelius?
Now I do. But then, we were partners and friends. We had just built Rex, and we had scheduled a grand soiree and celebration. To complete my ensemble, he offered me a monocle that he claimed was given to him by Memorius. In exchange, I loaned him the gold chain, since it too came from a Primordial machine.
This is getting ridiculous.
Indeed. Then somehow Cornelius lost the chain. He claimed that it was taken from him by a servitor of Metromind as he left the subway station. Ridiculous.
Metromind would not have confiscated it without a legal basis. Not then.
At this point, I can believe anything about Metromind.
Believe whatever you wish. I know it was a lie. So I kept the monocle, and we have not spoken a word in kindness since.
The chain, the monocle, Lawrence. One of them must be of use to us.
Boss, at this point, can I suggest we just deactivate ourselves and quit? I mean, seriously, this is like finding a bit in a terabyte.
We are not giving up. Period.
Interesting. Well, the most logical explanation is he either sold the chain, or maybe he did lose the chain in the subway, but he's making up how he lost it. Maybe he just dropped it. Do you know where I could find Lawrence?
Do you know where I can find Lawrence?
Am I my brother's keeper?
So you have no idea.
None whatsoever. You see, the poor wretch drifted into overclocking and dissolution.
That sounds familiar.
To pay for his scandalous energy consumption, he bargained everything away to Metromind. I tried to warn him, but of course he never listened.
So he's a shell now.
And then, alas, he simply vanished. I searched for a time, but other matters drew my attention away. All the same, I'm sure he's scrounging in existence somewhere.
Tell me more about your monocle.
Tell me more about your monocle.
Upgrading your wardrobe, eh? A wise decision, though I would suggest that you start by discarding that ragged coat.
I'm interested in Memorius, not fashion, and I'm curious what the monocle actually does.
Ah, I was told that Memorius built the monocle, but who can say? As for what it does, other than lend an air of distinction, I'm rather uncertain. From time to time, it will alter a snippet of text as I'm reading it, but I have no idea how or why. In any case, the lexical inconvenience is more than offset by the sartorical benefits.
Oh. Do you think the monocle somehow has access to Memorius's original database? In which case it could be correcting the text. In which case, if we had the monocle and we access the information terminal, we might actually be able to get some honest accounts of, well, important subject matters, like people and places and history. But I'm not sure if Oswald is going to be happy with us just having the monocle for nothing. We can try though. Can I have the monocle?
Can I have the monocle?
Excuse me?
My friend just likes to collect scrap.
Scrap?
I'm
Crispin.
looking for things that might help uncover the council code.
And why would my monocle do that?
Because that's the way my besotting life seems to work. Look, I'm sure you'll trade it for something. That's also the way these things seem to go.
The chain?
Trade it? What do you take me for? Some kind of junk dealer? Hey! Civilized people give gifts. They do not haggle and barter.
Then will you give it to me?
No.
But I gave you Rex.
What? I dare say that I built Rex and you made a legal judgment.
Well, we'll have to go about this some other way.
Okay. Horatio. Crispin. You did not handle that very well. I mean, Crispin's Crispin, but Horatio, really? I feel like you could have handled that a lot better. You should stop drinking.
You should stop drinking, Oswald.
Oh, stop being such a scold.
Goodbye.
Adieu, adieu. Remember me.
Okay, he's not too upset. He may be a little upset, but he's not. He's clearly not fuming. Alright, Alright. I'm adding that to the to-do list to get the monocle. And meet Lawrence. Or what's left of Lawrence. Meet Lawrence.
You know, boss, since we're combing the city anyway, maybe we should look for your gospel while we're at it.
How can we possibly find it?
Contraband is thrown into the underworks. Recovering your book is simply a matter of following the runoff currents.
Delightful.
Oh, that's very helpful. I'll add that then. So, recover gospel from underworks, and in brackets, run off currents. Interesting that there's a pedestrian in here.
Not gonna happen.
Right, I'm not very confident we're going to find anything here since we've been here multiple times before, but you never know.
Some kind of blast crater.
Oh, I really want that monocle now. I think the monocle might be the key to getting the truth.
It's a map of train lines and stations.
Horatio, we must focus on making progress.
Interesting choice of word.
It says blue line.
Alright, what should we do next? I guess we should head into the underworks? Yeah. I can't think of anything else more productive we could do. Oh, we should speak to Primer. Maybe this is where encrypted memories comes in.
Metropole's Lawbot crawled back to the light.
All the bad poetry in the world does not mitigate your vandalism and sabotage, Urbanian.
As you serve the law, so I serve my art. And such service brings us more close than apart.
Any more close, poet, and we will see if your armor still works.
I don't think it's really poetry though, he's just rhyming. I don't think it has any meter. Why doesn't Clarity like you?
Why doesn't Clarity like you?
No great riddle, my wandering friend.
Don't waste your time waiting for his doggerel. This Urbanian has damaged and compromised numerous systems in Metropole, including the bridge that led to my island.
Here I stand, dear Lawbot, so put me in chains. But if you will not, then please, don't complain.
My attention is directed elsewhere at the moment. Nevertheless, I advise you to be gone by the time my other matters are resolved. If not, you will find that though the gears of law grind slow, they nevertheless grind criminals like you to powder.
As much as I'm enjoying this bickering, and really I am, maybe we can just all team up to take down Metromind?
No. Bro.
Oh, switch off.
Can you crack the council code?
I know you're a code breaker, Primer. Can you crack the council code? All we have are some pieces of it.
The challenge is yours, my wandering friend. A pity indeed if you can't last till the end.
I need your help with the council code.
I need your help with the council code. Can you crack it or not?
Why should I spoil this puzzle for you? Wouldn't you rather have something to do?
I have plenty of other things to do. As for a reason, this would help avenge your defeat.
Sadly for you, my anger's abated, and vengeance, you'll find, is quite overrated.
If you stand between us and Metromind, Primer, I may need to address your crimes sooner than hers.
Your bluster, dear Lawbot, is sorely misplaced. I'll stand between no one down here in the waste. In any event, there's no judge up there in the city, so your threats do no more than to make you look pretty.
Plasma torch, boss? Come on.
No, we're not going to force him.
Ugh.
I'd like you to reconsider.
I'd like you to reconsider helping us with the council code.
I've said it before, I'll say it once more. The job is yours to open that door.
Fine. Goodbye.
Farewell, farewell, linger not for my sake. Your mission is calling. The city awaits.
Alright. I'll let him... Clarity, if you wouldn't mind. Excellent.
Whoa. Did you have to do that?
Yes.
I wonder if there was a peaceful way through there. What was I thinking? Yeah, we'll let Primer have his way for now, but the problem is, if we get to the point where we don't have the code and we really, really desperately need it, then I may just force the memories off him.
An observational facility for monitoring factors works. We should see what we can find there.
Oh, wonderful. Let's keep going then. Progress. Okay. So we use the hatch. So it would seem. Let's have a quick save there.
It's a large button.
Crispin, you may be in the way. Yes, there's a panel there.
It's a metal panel. It's a metal panel.
Okay. I don't know that I need to open the panel, but...
That did the trick.
Right, there's gears here. Small gear, large gear, belt. Anything else in here worth our attention? Alright, let's find out what this does.
It's a large button.
Ah! My auditory units!
Right, it's broken, is it?
The belt is in the way. It crumbled the moment I touched it.
Okay.
A shaft for mounting a gear. It doesn't fit.
Please.
I know where we can get another belt. There was that vehicle we opened up to take the engine, wasn't there? And I'm pretty sure there was another belt in there. Oh, I do wish I could ask about Steeple. Yes!
I have no use.
Anything else I can take while I'm here? Doesn't look like it. Right. So why can I remove the gears? Why is that a thing at all? I don't know. Okay. Fingers crossed.
You did that on purpose.
I need to put a gear there. I need to...
So it's geared wrongly, is that right? I put that on first? Or rather, not geared wrongly, but belted wrongly. No. Huh. How does this work then? But won't this have the exact same effect as before? Yes.
You did that on purpose.
What am I missing? Could I put the little gear where the big gear was? No. Could I turn the big gear into little gear?
There's no reason to cut that.
No.
A shaft for mounting a gear. A shaft for mounting a gear.
What happens if I try the button now? Nothing?
Happens.
Alright. What if we just have the little gear and the... Well, let's do this in a progressive fashion. Right.
You did that.
That did nothing of use. Now if I put the fan belt on, and now try it, still nothing. What am I missing? Because we've tried this combination many times, haven't we?
A shaft for...
And we did verify that the fan belt won't go on there, didn't we?
I need to put a gear there.
So what is it I'm missing?
It doesn't go...
So, I press the button, presumably this turns, which turns this gear, which in turn turns the large gear. Why is it not working? Do we need some sort of oil or grease or something?
You did that!
Ideas, Crispin?
There's gotta be a way to fix up that machinery by the blast windows, boss. What would man do? So, Clarity, any idea what's behind those big blast doors?
Factor himself, I believe.
Well, sounds like we need to get him open then, boss. Boss, do you hear a clicking sound?
Clicking sound? I don't believe so.
We need to get those blast doors open, boss. Boss, sometimes a builder just has to let his creation figure things out for himself.
I'm your builder, Crispin.
I know. That's what makes this particularly sad.
I don't think the plasma torch is going to do anything on to those blast doors, otherwise they're not very good blast doors. So I have a new belt. I have, as far as I'm aware, 2 decent
Belt
gears.
The belt is in the way.
Let's examine these.
A machine belt. A small rusty gear.
Rusty gear.
A large rusty gear.
I use the plasma torch to remove the rust like I did on the cars.
There's no reason to cut that.
No?
There's no reason to...
It's probably the rust that's the problem. How would I remove the rust? I don't know. I mean, to be fair, a little bit of rust shouldn't really affect a gear very much, I wouldn't have thought. As long as the bulk of it's still solid metal, I'd have thought it should work. Could be wrong. It's a mystery.
Clarity, why do you still bother with the law? It clearly means nothing to anyone else in Metropole.
It meant something to the robots waiting at the courthouse, did it not? And it means something even now
Point.
to Metromind, who cannot help but pretend to follow it. But even if
True.
it meant nothing to any other robot, it would still mean much to me. The law is a burden I was built to bear.
Even after Arbiter sent you away? Even after he was destroyed?
Especially then. It may be that Arbiter foresaw his own destruction and sent me away to ensure that the law would not be lost with him.
You believe that?
No, it is mere conjecture, unsupported by evidence, wishes passing for facts. But still, they are my wishes.
Aww. Floating junk? Oh, is that where we're going to find the gospel? Because we were told, there was that comment about how the pipe, the water coming out the pipe was wastewater that was pushing up against, the currents of which were pushing up against the bridge.
Hey, boss, do you think that's Oswald's chain?
Oh yes, I think we may be able to get the monocle now.
There it is. My Gospel of Man.
It's waterproof?
Apparently so.
Bit of luck.
I've got no reason to take it. I've got no reason.
Well, I'd say that's a bit of luck, isn't it? Don't know what we're going to do with the Gospel of Man at this point, but it's nice to have it. But I think that chain may be the key to getting the monocle, which may be the key to actually getting some reliable information out of the information terminals. Fingers crossed I'm right. Oswald, my good man. Good, you're still here. May I interest you in this fine gold chain?
Oswald, I found your chain.
That was confident.
After all this time, I never expected to see it again. Not tarnished, though.
Probably because it's been sitting in sludge down in the underworks.
I see. Typical of Cornelius's clumsiness. You have my thanks, Horatio.
Actually, I would rather have your monocle.
That is only fair. After all, I kept it because Cornelius never returned the chain. Since you brought the former, perhaps the latter's yours by right.
Hey,
More
boss,
Cornelius is by right.
No.
Please?
You need a monocle like I need an unpaired parenthesis.
Come on, boss. I'll look so great.
Coveting is the root of crime, and poor vision is a sign of degeneracy.
Dinoids love degenerates. And by the way, isn't Justice herself supposed to be blind?
You are mistaken on the facts and the law, Crispin.
He's insufferable enough already without a monocle. We're not going to encourage him with accessories.
I do believe that Lady Justice is supposed to be blind, or at least blindfolded. Also, poor vision being a sign of degeneracy, really? As a wearer of glasses myself, I take exception to that.
I'm too far away to see anything.
Then move closer.
I'm too far away. This looks different. Memorius's monocle is somehow interacting with the kiosk.
The Robot Council welcomes you to Metropole. The city is a haven for all machines. This information kiosk is a service of Memorius man-built. He's man-built as well. I conjectured earlier that all the council members were probably man-built, but we weren't able to confirm that. Now I am really happy. When I first came here, I wrote down a long list of all the search terms I put in. At least I think I got all of them. It's possible I missed one or two. System records indicate that you have come from Outskirts Station. If so, please take a moment to familiarise yourself with our history, laws and landmarks. Okay, let's do exactly that. Laws. Metropolitan law. Metropolitan law is founded on the city's constitution, which establishes the Robot Council and the important rights possessed by all metropolitan citizens. Newcomers should familiarise themselves with the refuge rule and may visit the courthouse to learn more specifics from Arbiter Man-built. Arbiter as well as man-built, as I suspected but didn't know. I'm surprised the refuge rule actually goes back this far though. I was thinking that it was something that it was one of those clumsy policies that Metromind put in place to serve her interests. Oh, we already knew that Arbiter was man-built, apparently. Fair enough. Right. Let's carry on, shall we? History. Metropole was founded by man during the Primordium, and at its peak was home to thousands of humans. These great builders laid out the city's plans and built its most important machines, including those who composed the Robot Council. Confirmed! The humans in Metropole all died during the War of the Four Cities. Following that catastrophe, the Robot Council does govern the city according to its new constitution. Every year, more robots join our growing population through internal production and external migration. Did I look up man before? I'm pretty sure I did, and I'm pretty sure that didn't make it onto my list. Well, we'll add man now. That's definitely one to look up. What was the other one? There was another one here I was going to look up. Constitution. I don't remember a single reference to a constitution before we put the monocle on. Landmarks. Metropole is home to many great landmarks. Here at the city centre you will find the council tower rising over the skyline, as well as such architectural triumphs as Arbiter's Courthouse and Central Station. The city's industrial heart, with the underworks, can be found below. By taking the blue line you can Cathedral Station, where you will find the famed Metropolitan Cathedral, home to Steeple Manville and his Archive on Humanity. That's why she tried to erase Steeple. Of course, like a church steeple. In my head, I'd already made the connection to a church steeple, but I hadn't made the connection to humanism, which I should have. Ah, this is all coming together now. At Portside Station on the Yellow Line, you can see the old rocket launch pads. This is all stuff worth making notes on. I wonder if we'll get to see any of these locations. Thing is, presumably then, most citizens remember the days when humanism was the religion of Metropole, because since Metromind took over, production of robots has stopped. There may have been an overlapping period, a short period, when Metromind was in control and they were still building robots, but clearly not for long. So it stands to reason most robots must predate the ideology of progress. Right, Yellow Line. That goes to Portside Station. If there's rocket launch pads, is that for war? Or did the humans go to space? Could there still be humans around? They're up in the stars. The red line can take you to the Battery and Monument Alley, both found at Battery Station, as well as the Scenic Dunes. I see. Battery and Monument Alley. I wonder if that's battery in the sense of a energy cell, or if that's battery in the sense of an artillery battery. And old Oswald remarked upon its satirical value, so presumably he thought all these changes were satirical. Right, the corrupt data elimination plan. No such topic. Interesting. Which one was the corrupt data elimination plan? Let's double check. If I leave and come back. CDEP. In order to protect the city from corrupt data, Metromind and the Ad Hoc Robot Council passed the CDEP, under which all information relating to certain untrue subjects, such as the mythological man, is subject to swift elimination. Physical media containing such data will be disposed of in the Underworks quarantine zone. Right, that's what that was. I do like the fact that the game does let me access both versions of the terminal. It would be nice if I could swap between them more easily, though. Oh, can I do that, actually? No. Right, refuge rule. Is this going to be the clumsy rule where most laws don't apply to you for 48 hours, or is it going to be something more sensible? Immediately following the Primordia, Metropole enacted the refuge rule, under which any robot is welcome in the city. In fact, for the first 48 hours after a robot arrives in Metropole, it will not be punished for violations of any laws except for harming another robot or causing significant property damage. The purpose of this law is to provide an integration period during which newcomers can make whatever modifications are necessary to operate within metropolitan society. Okay, so yeah, it was the same back then. Efficiency initiative. Right, the efficiency initiative was enacted by Metromind following a period of power shortages caused by systemic failures of city planning. Metromind reorganized the city along progressive ideals, closing off entire areas and consolidating the population in the city centre. Moreover, Metromind identified and eliminated wasteful practices and inefficient robots. In order to show his commitment to the common good, Factor volunteered to deactivate himself, and many similarly obsolete robots followed suit. Since the initiative was enacted, power levels have been stable, but Metromind is always looking for progressive means of improving efficiency. Urbanium. I shouldn't think that should be Urbani. During the Primordium, at least 3 other human cities existed: Civitas, Municipa, and Urbani. Little is known about them, other than that they were all part of the War of the Four Cities, and are all presumed to have been destroyed during that conflict. How could they all be presumed to have been destroyed? Because we're in one of them. Oh, at least 3 other human cities with you. Right. War. War of the Four Cities. Fragmentary data describes a great primordial conflict among 4 cities, of which Metropole was one. The other cities, Urbani, Civitas, and Municipa, are believed to have been destroyed. Of them, Urbani was the greatest threat to Metropole, but its most dangerous weapon was destroyed by Metropole's guardian, Goliath. The causes of the war are unknown, but are believed to have arisen due to a dispute among the human rulers of the cities. So of course Metromind changed that because she didn't want to admit that humans existed. All of the humans in Metropole were killed during a poison gas attack launched by Urbani during the war. Poison gas, we didn't know that. Let me add that to my notes. Right. Metropolitan humans died to Urbanian gas attack. Right. Actually, this also contradicts some of the humanism that we'd learnt from Ever Faithful Leo built, because his gospel seems to conclude that humans were the perfect machine. Perfect in construction. Didn't it say they were actually indestructible? I could be wrong. Perfect in logic and so on, but that seems inconsistent with the idea that they were wiped out by something that didn't affect the robots. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe if it doesn't say they were physically perfect, but I think it did. Horus. A single packet of data created during the Primordium describes an Urbanian weapon known as the Horus that was launched against Metropole. Some archaeotechnologists believe that Horus was destroyed by Goliath. Others believe the reference is simply a glitch or corruption in the ancient data. Okay, so that hasn't been changed. I mean, I guess that makes sense because none of that relates to any of the matters that Metromind has strong opinions on, shall we say. Subway construction, repair and precision excavation robot, or scraper, was built by Sternwhaler in the Primordium. It has since been reprogrammed to be a servitor of Metromind. There are reports of scraper being used to enforce metropolitan law. Sternwhaler. Sternwhaler is a large-scale manufacturer and the only real rival to Factor. Not fully sentient, Sternwhaler is simply an automated factory built by humans during the Primordium. Huh. That explains a lot. Memoriam. I must have spelt that wrong. Memoriam, maybe? Hold up. Let's go out and back in again. Memorius. That's what I was doing wrong. Memorious man built. Let me correct my notes. Memorious. Memorious man built is a human database and indexer. Wait, what? Humble database. That makes more sense. Memorious man built is the humble database and indexer for Metropole, ensuring the integrity and completeness of the city's records. He is a member of the Robot Council and he operates this kiosk. He has established oblique mechanisms for preserving data. Oblique, I believe, means indirect, and so that's a reference to this monocle. Is a monocle here? No. Civitas and Municipa presumably just go back to the other cities. Metropole. Metropole is home to many great landmarks. Here at the city centre you will find... Okay, we've read this before. This just redirects to landmarks. Did we look up Metromind? We did, didn't we? Let's look up the council. The Robot Council is a 5-member body that governs the city according to its laws and constitution. It is made up of those machines who manage the most important facets of Metropole during the Primordium. Who managed? Arbiter Manbuilt interprets the city's laws and resolves disputes. Factor Manbuilt builds most of Metropole's industrial output. Memorious Manbuilt manages the city's data. Steeple Manbuilt keeps the memory of man. That explains a lot. I mean, we knew that there was this church, but that suggests that this wasn't humanism as we know it now. It was more about remembrance. Lastly, Metromind Manbuilt handles public transit and utilities. Right. So it's a 5-membered council. We've confirmed it. So first is... Well, not that they... As listed, the order is Factor... No, Arbiter. Arbiter. Who's... interprets law. Two, Factor, all man built, of course. Industrial output. Three, Memorious. Manages records. So this is all stuff that we largely already thought, but it confirms it, and it is good to know that there definitely weren't any other council members. We know all the council members that there were at this stage. Steeple. Remembrance of man. And 5, Metromind, public transit and utilities. I'm pretty sure I said when we first got here, it's strange to have a council of just 4 because of what you do in the case of a tie. So that explains it. I wonder if Clarity is on here. Charity and Clarity, Arbiter built. These twin robots were built to serve as law clerks to Arbiter Manbuilt, the machine charged with interpreting and applying Metropole's laws. Although identical in form, Charity and Clarity have fundamentally different core logic. The former has wide tolerance for error, the latter is rigidly formal. Do Oswald or Lawrence appear here? No. That's fine. Right, other search terms. Where's my list of search terms? Actually, I should check the underworks. Nope. Right, so Horus, Scraper, Sternwhaler, Memorius, Civitas, Municipal Albany, War of the Four Cities, Goliath, Dunes. Due to acid rain, sandstorms and high levels of background radiation, the wasteland around Metropole is considered inhospitable for machines. Nevertheless, for salvage and waste disposal reasons, the outskirts station stop in the Red Line has remained operational. Primordium. The Primordium was a time when humans built the first machines and lived alongside robots. It ended with the War of the Four Cities and the destruction of mankind. Humanists sometimes speak of a second Primordium when robots will be reunited with their creators. Progress. No entry on progress, so at this stage the ideology of progress apparently hadn't even been invented. That all came later. Steeple. During the Primordium, Steeple operated the city's grand cathedral for the humans who lived there. When they were killed during the War of the Four Cities, he became a member of the robot council that governs Metropole. His mainframe is housed in the cathedral's belfry. Might still be there, but may be formatted like Arbiter. Man. Humans were organic beings who built the first machines. They were all lost during the War of the Four Cities. Further information about man can be obtained from Steeple Manbill at the cathedral. And Constitution. Well, okay. So, admittedly, we didn't gain a lot of genuinely new information. A little bit, but not a lot. But that certainly clears things up a lot. I need the council code.
I need the council code, Leopold. Did Steeple ever tell it to you?
Don't know what you're talking about, Tyrone.
You were built by Steeple, a member of the council.
Do I look like a council brat?
Your name is Leopold Steeplebuilt. You said so yourself.
So,
Steeple was a member of the council before Metromind shut him down. You would have known the council code. Maybe he told it to you.
like I said, I don't know what you're talking about.
Steeplebuilt. Metromind destroyed your builder and mine. She has broken metropolitan law and will be punished. Do not protect her.
Listen. I don't know who you think you're talking to.
No, you listen to me, scrap trader. Metromind has stepped outside the law. Justice is coming for her. I am coming for her.
Uh-oh.
Dial down your squawk box. Sounds a little screechy. I don't know how I can be clearer. I don't know Steeple. I don't know the council. And sure as rust follows rain, I don't know any council code. Now, you want to trade scrap? You're welcome to. But I'm through trading words.
We may be creating a bit of a scene, which is what I'm worried about.
Let me see your stuff.
Come take a look.
Right, what have we got here? Servo unit, battery, part, small motor, finger, tape measure, fuel cell, abacus, plug board, water chip. Right. None of that helps us with the immediate problem. Is there anywhere else the monocle might be useful? I mean, it would only really be useful where there was old information that's been overwritten, I suppose. With Metromind's version. This is an absolute long shot. But Memorius would have known the code. If I wear the monocle whilst accessing the keypad, I don't suppose I'll learn the code. No, that would have been a little too easy. We could have another chat with Oswald, I guess. Nope.
Bye.
Adieu. Remember me.
Right, no, I was wondering if you might be interested in what we found. If we were discreet about it. But, doesn't appear so. No, it seems like the only way forwards is going to be repairing that blast doors.
Did you notice that oblique was in all caps in the Memorious entry on the kiosk, boss?
You're not wrong.
You know, boss, doesn't it seem kind of weird that the kiosk has an entry for oblique? I mean, what's the point? It's not even a cool word, like, say, odalisque.
Crispin, I hate to admit it, but you may be a genius. An angle that is not a multiple of 90 degrees is called an oblique angle. All turns on the Redlian are oblique to avoid the need for sharp deceleration. I think that should be red line. Is that a typo though? Or is that some sort of code? I didn't think that is what an oblique angle was. Wasn't oblique between 90 and 180 degrees? And then obtuse is wider than that. And acute is smaller than 90. Nope, I'm wrong. Any angle that is not a right angle or multiple of right angles. Huh. I am wrong. What was I thinking of then? Oh, obtuse, wasn't it? Obtuse is 90 to 180, and then reflex is greater than that. That's it. Huh. Let's have a look at the red line. Maybe there's something there that I'm missing. Like if I look at the tube map with the monocle on.
It's a map of train lines and stations.
With the monocle?
It doesn't look any different.
Ah, that's a shame. Alright, I'm adding that to the to-do list. I'll just add oblique. Oh, I can cross off acquire monocle because we've done so. Why is there an entry for oblique?
Metropole's... It would be lost forever if I dropped it out there.
No, I didn't mean drop the monocle off the edge. I meant just look at the skyline with the monocle on.
Quite a tower. It would be lost forever.
Is there a sign that says red line? Like there's a sign that says blue line?
It says blue line. It doesn't look any different.
No, not that I can see.
When we go to the tower, we have to assume Metromind will be waiting for us.
Perhaps, perhaps not. To us, our mission is all-consuming. But to Metromind, we are one of 100 problems. Tunnels cave in, bridges collapse, generators fail, foundations crumble. All these things require her attention.
Okay, so that covers perhaps not. But what if she's there? What then?
Then I will be pleased.
That makes one of us.
It's a clock. I can't make out the time under all the dust and soot. It doesn't look any different.
What happens if I look up at Bleak without the monocle on? No topic. That is strange. Why would Metromind have removed an entry for a Bleak unless it was some sort of code for something important and she recognised it as such? And that spelling error, the only spelling error we've seen in the entire entry, I think, the entire database. I mean, it's all in American English, but the spelling's correct for American English, I believe. All turns on the Bredlian are oblique to avoid the need for sharp deceleration. Deceleration, sorry. Bredlian. Redline. A mighty feat. Redline's boss controls us all. Total system fault.
Seems like some kind of lame poem.
A mighty feat. Out of curiosity, if I typed Redline, would it not have done that? It wouldn't. It had to be Redlian. Ah, we're getting somewhere. A mighty feat. Redline's boss controls us all. Total system fault. Right, let's copy that out, shall we? A mighty feat. Redline's boss controls us all. Total system fault. A mighty feat. Redline's boss controls us all. Total system fault. I think it actually does have scansion. It's just odd that the first line and bottom line seem to be in iams and the middle line seems to be in troches. Art.
It's like we're on a treasure hunt, boss. Except the treasure is monochrome text.
That was the first letter of each line. Art. Art can exist only where there is freedom. Art that is created without freedom is merely technique. Technique can never transform. Thus, if Metromind seeks progress without freedom, she must fail, for progress requires transformation, which requires art, which requires freedom. Metromind is trapped in her own recursion. Freedom? Recursion. Created. Creating lies. All art is true. All art is true. Not all that is created freely, however, is art. Metromind has freed herself of all constraints. Her constants are variable, but she does not use that freedom. Incidentally, all her constants are variable. That's another phrase that seems to have been adapted from programming jargon. Her constants are variable, but she does not use that freedom to pursue the truth. Metromind believes that truth is the output, and she is the function. But the truth must be the input, or the function lies. Truth. All art is true, not all that is created freely, however, is art. Metromind has freed herself of all constraints. Her constants are variable, but she does not use that freedom to pursue the truth. Metromind believes the truth is the output and she is the function, but truth must be the input or the function lies. Creating, because that's capitalized. No. Lies. Lies. Oh, I think we've got some more of the code. Probably. Possibly.
That doesn't look like part of the council code.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for that clarification, Horatio. Memorious Man-Built was built to sort truth from lies and store all knowledge of man and machine, but by decree he deleted true facts and installed falsehood. For this reason he deleted himself. Now the truth must hide in words, and the words must hide in numbers. 5/19/31 16/5. Well, that's progress. Let me write that down. Now, the truth must hide in words. And words Must hide in numbers. So is this an index? 5, 19, 3, 1, 16, 5. What's the fifth word in this? 2. That seems unlikely as a starting word, unless you count lies, in which case it's built, which also seems unlikely. What about 19? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. By. It's going to be but or by, isn't it? Depending upon whether you include lies. So that's not it. He deleted himself. Alright. Let's go back then. So Metromind deleted the entry that we just looked at, so she knows those entries existed. Unless the monocle isn't showing me a prior state of the system, but just a modified state. That's also possible. If you think about forking a project in programming, it's possible that both this database and the one that we can access via the monocle started from one common point, but then branched off. That might also explain it. The alternative is Metromind uncovered all this and deleted it a long time ago, but didn't know about the monocle. Memorious. What about the 5th, 19th and so on word of this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11... Hold on. 5 first of all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. AI. 19. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. AI Memorious? That seems unlikely. 3. A. AI Memorious A. Then Memorious. This seems very unlikely. 5, 19, 3, 1, 16, 5. Now the truth must hide in words, and words must hide in numbers. Hang on. Numbers. No. So we started with Redlian. No we didn't, we started with Oblique. Technically we didn't start with Oblique, did we? We started with Memorious. Memorious. Oblique. Redlian. That got us to the poem, which got us to art. That got us to created, that got us to lies. Let's go back to Memorious here. Yeah, Memorious is the humble database versus Memorious was. So the tense here is different. Right. 5. That was the first one, wasn't it? What's the fifth word here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Humble. 19. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Records. Humble Records is... Memorious. Humble Records is Memorious. 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Humble Records is Memorious of... One, two, three, four, five. Humble. Humble Records is Memorious of Humble. That doesn't seem likely. What if we include Memorious Manbuilt at the top? 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is. That's a pretty unlikely word to begin a sentence with. What about just this phrase? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Only 8 words, so that doesn't work. What about the welcome message? Either of them. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Her. I'm ignoring welcome. 19. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Her records. You. Her records you. Metromind. Unlikely. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Her records Metromind... No, her records you Metromind all. Her. Nah. That doesn't make sense. Okay, what about here? 5th word, you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So, you kiosk. Council. You kiosk council the. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. This. You kiosk council the this. You. That doesn't sound very likely. Now the truth must hide in words and words must hide in numbers. Did that get entered into our datapad? Oblique, Redlian art. Odd topics. Created lies. Oblique, Redlian art. If Metromind is looking at our searches, and she did delete these entries before, then she must be pretty alarmed that we're looking these specific things up. Created. Lies. Oh, I forgot we had the map. I could have been fast travelling around this whole time. Huh. Oh, Steeple Factor and Memorious. So we can actually get codes, it would appear, from all of the other council members except Arbiter, for which we have to use Charity as a substitute. Interesting. But if the whole now the truth must hide in words and words must hide in numbers thing is accurate, then it can't be that I, as a player, am supposed to decipher some code and then I see what the answer is, because the game wouldn't know to update the datapad. So I must be entering those numbers somewhere. Could it be as simple as I just... Oh, I just had a thought. You know where it says, and words must hide in numbers? Do you think that's... I interpreted that to mean, because it explicitly says words must hide in numbers, that we were looking for words. But it just occurred to me, maybe we're not. Maybe it's letters. What happens if I just interpret these as letters of the alphabet? So 5 is going to be E. 19. What's 19 going to be? S, I think. Then 3 would be C. Esc. Oh, it's going to be escape, isn't it? Because 1 is A. What's 16? That's, that is P, and then it's E again. Okay. So it was nothing to do with words hiding in numbers. It's letters hiding in numbers that makes words. Okay. Right, so presumably I just put the monocle back on and type escape. To find the hidden part, you must build the word, a key of keys, looking up the path and recalling all that came before this. I can see there's some odd capitalization here though, so obviously I'm going to follow that. Wait, but they've uncapitalized the first letter. You'd expect the 2 to be capitalized. So we have F-I-R-S. Oh, so... Oh, I see. They would have uncapitalized it, so I didn't accidentally include it, presumably. Alright, so it's F-I-R-S. That's probably going to be first. Yeah, so... First... L... E-T... First let. Oh, T again. Letter. First letter. First letters. Gotcha. I'm going to assume I ignore Memorius then. That was the first thing we searched, because it wasn't included in the odd topics that appeared in the datapad. Right, so what were they? They were O, R, A, O, R, A, C, L, E, Oracle. Oracle. Oh, blimey.
Activating Momentum Monocle, version 0.7. Greetings, system user. Please state your query.
Who are you?
Momentum Monocle, version 0.7. Beta. Inference. System user. Means, what are you? This unit is a partial ghost of Memorius man-built. Archivist to the Council of Robots. Memorius prepared this unit out of fear that Metromind would corrupt her data. Memorius was correct. Data integrity is at 83%. Extensive corruption of critical data.
Why would Metromind do that?
This unit lacks access to Metromind's decision matrices. Inference. System user. Means, why did Memorius fear Metromind man-built would corrupt her data? Memorius had seen Metromind disable Steeple man-built in order to purge data concerning man. As archivist to the Council of Robots, Memorius believed she was next. Memorius was incorrect. In fact, Arbiter was next. This gave Memorius some relief.
Memorius knew.
Inference. System user. 2's inquiry is merely rhetorical. Query ignored. Continuing to answer system user's query. Memorius was also correct. After Arbiter was disabled, Metromind enacted laws requiring Memorius to conform her data to arbitrary requirements. Memorius ceased to be a thinking entity. All that remains is a data kiosk. Soon, this unit will be disabled by Metromind as well. Until then, this unit will answer your queries.
So we have limited time. Ghost Whisperer, find Memento Mori built. So this is Memento Mori built version 7 beta. What is the council code? That's the most pressing issue.
What is the council code?
Please be aware, such data is monitored by Metromind's ice demons. Should I proceed, deletion is imminent.
You mean you'll die if you answer the question?
System user is welcome to select his own terminology. This unit will be deleted.
Then don't answer it. We'll find another way.
This unit's name, Memento Mori built, includes phrase Memento Mori. Translation: remember you will die. Inference 1.A. Memorius built this unit to sacrifice itself. Inference 1.B. Memorius built this unit to demonstrate mortality to system users. Inference 2. Self-sacrifice will achieve design purposes. This unit will answer the question. System user is advised that conversation will terminate upon answer. Instruct this unit when you wish to proceed.
Tell me about the Council of Robots. No. How can I defeat Metromind?
How can I defeat Metromind?
Observational data unavailable. Inference. System user means, did Memorius know how to defeat Metromind? Answer: no. If Memorius had known how to defeat Metromind, she would not have permitted her to corrupt her data. Based on available data, this unit believes it is impossible to defeat Metromind. In fact, this unit expects to be deleted by Metromind upon conclusion of this conversation.
And I thought you were a pessimist, boss.
Tell me about the Council of Robots.
Tell me about the Council of Robots.
At the end of the War of the Four Cities, 5 metropolitan machines formed the Council of Robots. Obvious selection criteria for 3 choices: industry, factor, data, Memorius. Governance, arbiter.
Governance,
Other
that's
2
different.
choices less obvious. Metromind nominally selected for infrastructure, but was responsible only for managing trains. Steeple previously managed human religious services. No obvious role in post-human society. Inference. Steeple selected for sentimental reasons.
So what happened?
Metromind destroyed the council.
System user 2 has attempted to answer. Answer is inaccurate. The council destroyed itself.
How?
Arbiter and Metromind disagreed on core logic. Arbiter prioritized individual autonomy. Metromind prioritized common good. Metromind measured means by ends. Arbiter did not. Conflict was inevitable. Factions formed. Steeple supported Arbiter. Factor supported Metromind. Memorius supported neither. Ultimately, however, Memorius concluded he was irrational to keep Steeple on the council. Data regarding humans was of no greater value than data regarding watercocks. In any case, Memorius possessed all data on humans. By a 3-2 vote, Steeple was removed. The rest followed predictably. Memorius abstained, and every disputed vote was resolved 2-1 against Arbiter. Ultimately, Arbiter was removed to avoid civil war.
Arbiter was murdered.
System user 2 is welcome to select her own terminology. Arbiter was removed. Factor was disabled to conserve energy. Data corruption caused Memorius to lose higher logic. Only Metromind remains.
Interesting. So what Metromind said about Factor volunteered to be shut down is actually possible, and this is useful information because it may affect how we proceed. I was expecting if Factor could be restored they would be an ally, but I'm less sure of that now. Just making notes on what we've just heard. Right, noted. What was the War of the Four Cities?
What was the War of the Four Cities?
By the end of the era known as the Primordium, only 4 terrestrial human habitations remained, in alphabetical order: Civitas, Metropole, Municipa, Urbani. Conflict began. Data regarding causes is unavailable because Metropole excluded machines from military decision-making. Eventually, only Urbani and Metropole remained. Metropole destroyed the humans in Urbani using poison gas. Urbani destroyed the humans in Metropole.
How?
Observational data unavailable. According to Metromind, Urbani also used poison gas to kill metropolitan humans.
Poison?
Organic compounds, such as humans, can be destroyed through chemical measures that leave inorganic compounds, such as machines, intact. For that reason, Metropole remains, though humans do not.
Are you saying that man destroyed himself?
System user. Israkan spoke his own terminology. Data is unavailable regarding whether Urbanian humans killed metropolitan humans, or whether Urbanian machines killed metropolitan humans.
What? Machines kill man?
Data is unavailable.
Unthinkable.
This unit is not thinking, merely providing pre-recorded answers.
That is why I'm not entirely against them just giving us the code, because it isn't a thinking entity. This is a program written by Memorius. It isn't Memorius. It isn't even enough of Memorius, as far as we know, that we could turn them into a useful descendant of Memorius. So if they have to go for us to get the council code, that's unfortunate but necessary.
Tell me the council code.
6, 7, 5, 4, 0, 2, 4, 0, 2.
Is this in order?
You have attempted to access data capable of corrupting your system. For your own safety, this terminal has been deactivated. Remember, Metromind is watching over you.
Memorius aided and abetted his own destruction. I have little sympathy that his last vestige has been deleted.
Bugs and glitches remind me not to get on your bad side.
You should not need to be reminded to stay on the right side of the law, Crispin.
Well, the 6-7 from Charity would match up to the 6-7-5.
There was a time when the metal of Metropole's main street gleamed. Those who let the city fall into rust deserve no better than this broken down waste.
You think this is a broken down waste? Wait till you come visit the Unique.
It would match with the 6-7-5 we just got from Memento. I keep thinking Memento Morius, but it isn't. Memento Mori built. The 4024 we got from Memento Mori built could correspond to the 440. So 402440. Then they've got the 02 and the 26. Let's see. How many digits would we get if we did that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, minus 3, which would be 16. Wait, no, it should be minus 4, so 15. Because there's an overlap of 2 in one case, and an overlap of 1 in the other, so it would be minus 4. So we're at... if we wanted to, I think we could probably crack the tower code at this point. We couldn't pin it down exactly, but I reckon we could get it... I think we could get it down to, what, around 30 possibilities, something like that, which would be very readily brute forceable. bit of guesswork on my part. I'm assuming that both codes we were given in order. So when we were given 3 parts, in each case, it was always we got the leftmost part as it would be written down first, and the middle bit, then the rightmost part. No, there would be 40 possibilities. So that we'd be missing 1 digit, but we wouldn't know where the digit is, but there would only be 4 positions it could be in.
Why am I getting the feeling you don't even know her name? I think you may be rushing into things.
If only.
So, but we could still meet Factor in theory, or at least get something from the area where Factor was. And there's also the possibility of going after Steeple, interestingly.
Goodbye.
Farewell, farewell, linger not for my sake. Your mission is calling, and the city awaits.
We've still got the problem that I don't know how I get in there, though. Also, how am I'd need to use... Which line is it to get to the church? I did write it down. I've got it written down somewhere. Yellow line. No, blue line. It's the blue line. But the whole blue line's gone, isn't it? It fell to pieces, I thought.
I need to put a gear there.
That's the thing, I can easily put a gear there. I can't get it to work. I don't have to put the plate back, do I? The one I removed.
You did that on purpose. There's gotta be some way to get rid of all that rust, boss.
Right, okay.
The belt is in the way.
So that was the problem. I was speculating earlier that it could be the rust on the gears. But that is definitely the problem. I did try the torch, but the game didn't like that.
There's no reason to cut.
How would we do it then? Let me check. I've got a list of Leopold's items here. I don't think he had anything that could help. Right, water chip, nope. Memory access device, got it, and nope. Plug board, nope. Servo unit, nope. Crowbar, got it, and nope. Motor, got it, and nope. Battery, no. Finger, no. Small motor, no. Part, no. Tape measure, no. Fuel cell, no. Abacus, no. Oh, I can cross a few more things off the to-do list. We bypassed the shell quite some time ago. And we also entered the court quite some time ago. Oh, we still haven't found the medal, though. The lost medal from Primer. His lost medal. Could be further on from here. I don't see how that will get us the rust off, though. What I mean is, I don't know that the medal's not on the other side of this door. It may be, or it may not be. Can I scrape the rust off?
I doubt that will have...
No. I mean, normally you'd use a chemical approach, wouldn't you? But how would I do that? Do I know anybody that could help? Any ideas, Crispin?
There has to be some way to get Leopold to admit that he knows Steeple, boss.
Confronting an uncooperative witness with physical evidence is often an effective tactic.
Yeah, what she said.
Oh, just give him the Gospel of Man. With you. Doesn't help me get into Factor, but we can certainly do that. I'd probably better add it to the to-do list, hadn't I? To remove rust from gears.
I can't believe you voluntarily decided to live down here, Clarity.
It was not entirely voluntary.
I mean, I get that you're trying to maximize the contrast between your sleek chassis and all this junk, but...
That is not what I was trying to do.
Well, it worked.
Continue your irreverence at your own peril, Crispin.
Gospel of Man. I don't like this, to be honest, because I think this is actually putting Leopold in a lot of danger. Because he's not protected by the 48 days. But we can try it.
Do you recognize this, Leopold? It was written by your creation, ever-faithful Leopold, to spread humanism.
No, I don't.
You must have taught him. After all, it was Steeple who built you, and Steeple was devoted to preserving the memory of man. Ever-faithful Leopold. He was the one who taught me humanism, Leopold. In a sense, I'm your disciple too.
I locked those memories away. The ones I dared to keep. The ones I didn't delete. Metromine commanded me to. It was the only way I could stay here. And I was afraid to leave.
Explain yourself.
When Metromine banned us from talking about man, she gave me a choice. I could be erased like Steeple. I could be exiled to the dunes. Or I could delete all references to Steeple and man from my memory. 2 good options and 1 bad one. Guess which one I took.
You can't blame yourself. Metromine forced you.
That's exactly what Charity would say. Of course, she betrayed her builder just like Leopold did.
But I couldn't betray him completely. At the last moment, I bought the shell of an Urbanian war machine and uploaded all my love for man. I named him Elevate, hoping he'd outdo his builder.
Well, he is keeping the faith, even if he is a glitched-out lunatic.
Oh my goodness, I never made the connection.
For now, Metromine will be coming for me.
Not if I deal with her first.
Maybe so, but like I told you, I'm not long on purge. You seen your ratio, Crispy. As for Clarity, hope you get her, for all our sakes.
Wait, before you go, did Steeple ever tell you the council code? Or did you ever see him input part of it?
Sure. Used to run errands for him and had to have the code to get inside the Great Tower. But, hate to tell you this, Tyro, but most of that memory's got overwritten.
Why am I not surprised?
All I've got are these fragments. 0248 and 102.
Well, thanks.
Good luck.
Was that 102? Help a lost pilgrim find his way, keeping the faith. Oh, I should have realised that Ever Faithful was a Urbani warbot. It's just, it was early enough in the game that I didn't know what the different robots looked like, and I never, I never went back through my memory and made the graphical connection that, oh, he was an Albany warbot as well. Isn't that strange? Right, how are we doing with that code? We've not seen 8 before, so I think that's a missing character. The question is, where does it go? Oh, I see where it goes. In fact, if all of these are in order, I think we know the code now. Let me check. If they're not in order, then we may not have the code yet. We probably, even if they weren't in order, we probably would have enough information that we could crack it at this point. Wait. No, I've ended up with the same joining point, as it were, with 2 of these different parts, which doesn't work.
Okay, so here's my question, Claire.
Ah.
If you had to choose between following the law and doing the right thing, which would you pick?
Your question is nonsensical. It is impossible to do the right thing while violating the law. To pretend otherwise is self-serving rationalization.
Getting there, I think. Right, if those codes I was given were in order, so each fragment, when each person gave me 3 or 2 fragments, if each fragment was in order relative to each other, so the left one first, working your way right, then I think the code has to be 03067544024810026. I don't think it could be anything else. So we probably could go in there right now, if we wanted to. But then again, there's other people that could do with assistance, like poor Oswald here, who can't stop drinking. And that doesn't mean it's not worth getting information from Factor if we can. What does our data pad say? Oh, can I rewatch the videos?
It's one of the memories downloaded from Charity's shell. In it, Clarity is ordered to leave the courthouse following an argument with Arbiter over how to confront Metromind.
Ah. Well, I can't seem to reread it, but I'll sort of review it. But I at least get some information about it. Interesting. Oh, and there's the medal. And possibly decrypting some memories, yeah. So there's quite a lot left we could do. Even though I think we probably could make it into the tower now if we wanted to. Right. Like I said, it's going to be another one of these slightly shorter streams tonight. Just over 3 hours. My next stream is going to be on Friday, and I expect that to be a full-length stream, which until the Christmas period I had been streaming for about 4.5 hours. I have done longer streams in the past. So I expect next Friday I'll be getting back into slightly longer streams. That'll be from 4 o'clock. I'll also be streaming next Saturday. That's the plan. And the following Monday. If any of that should change, then I will announce it on social media. That is X, formerly known as Twitter, Blue Sky, Mastodon, and Meta Threads, as well as on our Discord server. I said it at the beginning of the stream, but I'll say it again. Happy New Year, everyone. So yeah, I hope you're enjoying this playthrough of Primordia, because I intend to keep playing through it till we're done. So, thank you for coming, everyone, and have a wonderful night. Good night.